Those who survive know the one more time. 5, 6, finding bliss when you're drunk or you're doing drugs. When you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk or you're doing drugs. 7, 8, feeling brave, but you never really play this game. 9, 10, feels like heaven, you're crying cause you wanna stay. Quick fix, finding bliss when you feel the heartbeat inside. When you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? When you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk. Me too, I'm just like you, and I need to fuck it up sometime. I'm stuck with ego trips, selling sex to a lovable bar. Sometimes I feel magic, then I manage to fuck up somehow. Get drunk, get drunk, get drunk, get drunk, and I'm getting high. Do you believe in magic? Me too, I'm just like you, and I need to fuck it up sometime. I'm stuck with ego trips, selling sex to a lovable bar. Sometimes I feel magic, then I manage to fuck up somehow. Get drunk, get drunk, get drunk. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic?
It used to be luck. You used to be funny. We used to have time. Time without money. We used to feel bad. We used to look sad. We used to have luck. And time without money.
like a thunderstorm. Oh, here we go, 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 go. You're easy to remember, so hard to forget. Baby, it's a coward way you strut. Well, how could I not worship every inch your feet have touched? Baby, run away with me. You kill it lonely. You make my eyes unsee all the crazy. You make my heart believe there's only one of you, baby. Run away with me. Don't leave me lonely. You make my eyes unsee all the crazy. You make my heart believe. There's no more clouds on the freeway. Now tell me you'll stay. Golden hour lasts all day. Here we go, go, go. Rose bed, fancy hotels, girl, you know. Baby, run away with me. You kill it lonely. You make my eyes unsee all the crazy. You make my heart believe there's only one of you, baby. Run away with me. Don't leave me lonely. You make my eyes unsee all the crazy. You make my heart believe. And we'll stay in bed all day. Make love in every way. Baby, run away with me. You kill the lonely. You make my eyes unsee all the crazy. You make my heart believe. Oh, baby, run away with me. Don't leave me lonely. You make my eyes unsee all the crazy. You make my heart believe. You make my heart believe.
Now you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will feel free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you're the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a I don't give a fuck. 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 It's time to start doing the right thing. So trust your instinct. Stop listening to others and own your decisions. People will always tell you what to do, speak and how to live. So let's create some space for the matters most to you. You'll be glad you did. Now start reclaiming your time and your mental well-being by saying no more. No more. Say it loudly and proudly. In other words, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike. You have permission to engage the target.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome back to the show, guys. Good to see you. Everyone's here. Let's check the chat and see who's up in the house tonight. I've been communicating with some of you guys while I was getting set up and getting ready, but you know how it is. I got to roll the whole. I got to introduce everybody. Agripolis was first in the chat tonight, followed by Anson, our chairman of the board. Good to see you, Anson. Dano made it in. Good to see you, Dano. I know you've been busy lately modding on other channels and whatnot, but good to see you in my channel again. That's awesome. Damien, our parkour guy, came in. And if you don't know, Damien's got a channel, and it's really worth checking out. It really is. Tiki Tack made it up in the house, says it is his favorite show. Thank you, sir. Kissy Cat and Beth Mayhew both coming in and hanging out with us tonight, being cool, because you know this is where the cool people are. Triggerman is up in the house. Triggerman, sometimes I do cover economics. We talk a lot about that stuff. Serendipity is in the house. That is that's another South African, real African on the show. Pardon me. I need to obviously drink some water or something. And Agripolis has donated 5 memberships. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Thank you very much, sir. Pardon me. I got to get back to my to reading off the roll for tonight. What is a lively conversation up in here? Lord of Pies is up in the house. That's awesome. That's cool to see. And we had a great talk about the music. We'll talk some more about that here in a minute. Let's see who else has made it. Publix does exist in Tennessee. It is. I have one literally on 2-3 blocks away, and it's terrible, man. It's terrible. They get me every time, every single time. I walk in, I want one thing, and you guys, you know how it is. You walk in, and damned if it isn't like buy 2 get 1 free, buy 5 get 2 free, some crap like that. And I go in for one thing, I come out with nothing, you know. I mean, with pardon me, with a cart full. Pardon me. That's what I was trying to think of. All right, and been a lively chat. Really interesting stuff. Why did Lord of Pie get his message deleted? I like Lord of Pies. He's pretty cool. Let me see what we got going on here. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I missed anybody that came in. All right, cool. Going on. We're moving down. I wonder if Trigger Man is still in the house. Wolfpack is up in the house. Pardon me. We did talk about the music. The song you liked was "Carefree" by Paper Twins, and then the other song you liked was "Roof" with Paper Twins as a guest. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. All right. We've got a lot of really cool people up in the house tonight. Imperious made it. He wanted the "I Don't Give a Fuck" song, and it was played as it should have been. All right. 13 made it in the house. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Smoking Spaceman is up in here. All right. Ben. Well, good to see you back, sir. Good. We'll probably have you up later, and we'll do some arguing about something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Stephen Akari's in. That's cool. I like that. And we got those gifted subs, man. Lindsay Smith got a membership. How about that? That's awesome. All these people. Nayakos Michelle is in the house. It's been a while, Michelle. I hope you enjoy the show tonight. It should be a good one. We are going to talk some trash. I'm kind of just strolling through what a great crowd we have tonight. But we certainly do. We're going to have a truly great show tonight. But one thing I got to start with before we have a public announcement. Just in case you're wondering, if any time it gets to be too adult for you, you don't like what's being said, and you feel like you need to rage or spurg or troll, here's a public service message for you.
Everyone does it. Now you can do it too. Shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut the hole in your face. Like that. You can do it. Shh. Shut up. And shut the fuck up.
This little public service announcement, just in case you were wondering, you can, in fact, shut the fuck up. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Shut the hole in your face. I love that part. That is great. Chairman of the board, your AC broke? That sucks, man. What's up, Imperious? How the hell are you? Have you recovered from yesterday? In case you didn't know, Imperious was major league triggered yesterday over on Chaotic Truth. When I was talking to Rolo and those guys. Yeah, it's really cool. What's up, Fredo Fonzarelli? How the hell are you, sir? How the hell are you? Good to see you in the chat. So we're going to lead off the Trash Talk Saturday with we're going to lead off with me. I'm going to trash talk myself a little bit. You know, every now and again, little self-reflection needs to happen. And I have self-reflected. I've reflected upon myself. And well, here we go. So you guys that have been with the show for a while know that I have a backstory of why that I gained weight over the past couple of years, and it's yeah, there's a reflection. There's a monitor right there. Yeah, cool. So and what it seems weird to me that it seems like most often the best uh insult that people have, and Are We Not Men kind of brought this out, or We Are Not Men, whatever you want to call him, kind of brought this out the other day. He literally basically about the only thing you can make fun of me about is touch overweight. And I know that. I I got injured a couple of years ago, and you know what? The weight just didn't come off. I'm not actually short. I'm not I wish, I kind of sometimes wish I was a little short, but my wife is short, which is hilarious. But the it really it's like the most common thing people want to throw at me is you're fat. And I'm like, well, you know what? I am a little fat. However, I have been losing weight, guys, and but I haven't been losing it as fast as I wanted to. So I've doubled down lately. The weight's coming off, and it's not coming off as quiet as this isn't a magic trick. It just doesn't change overnight. But it is actually never about the weight. Actually, here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about that. So it's not so much that I only technically gained like 20 pounds maybe. But the problem is that I lost about 10 pounds of muscle. And that's actually, so I'm actually not actually losing weight per se. I'm just burning off the fat, which is good, right? And and I'm going to talk trash, man. I've done a lot of different things over the past year to push my weight down, and it's some of it's worked, some of it hasn't worked, some of it works, and then it comes back and whatever, and it takes time, right? I see everybody saying, well, it takes time, all that kind of stuff, but the real problem is that the real problem with me, I get into my workout program, and my personality is such as I would overdo it and I would just hurt myself again. We come with the TTS, ladies and gentlemen.
Agrolepolis donated $10, super chat. Thanks for playing IDGAF and for the grift.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, the TTS is at $10. And if you would like to hear that lovely lady's British lilt, all you have to do is send in donations of $10 and above, super chat, and she will read it out for you. Don't look a day over 50. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm barely over 50. But so as I was saying, I would get in the gym and I would go too hard and I would hurt myself. And we got memberships coming out again. And we've got where did that go? Hold on. I missed one. I think I missed one. Anyway, thank you, 13 for sending that in. Appreciate that. But at any rate, yeah. So, oh, awesome, dude. You've dropped some weight, Silvar Ogre. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Dude, our man has dropped 5 more memberships. Thank you, sir. That's awesome. That's a win all day. Appreciate that. Non-Fonz lurk. No, he may not be here. It basically they'll give anybody a membership whether they're here or not. So, but that's a win giving non-Fon a membership. That's a win. So I'll trash talk myself. Look, man, I would get in the gym, I get going, and then I'd hurt myself. I'm sure that some of you have played this game before, especially the males. You go in, you go a little too hard, you hurt yourself, and now instead of just gradually burning off the weight, you're gaining the muscle. You actually do more damage. And now, and so I've been playing this game for 2 years. 2 fucking years. What a fucking idiot. Right? And finally, I've been working with this dude here and there. My wife is my wife just wants me to work out. She doesn't really care what I do. So at the end of the day, I tend to I hurt myself too much. So old Joe, you seriously did? That's legendary. Just tore your pec. Ooh, that's tough, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just stupid sometimes. I would just go too hard. I would hit the, I would push too soon, do things I shouldn't do too, and look, it's just stupidity. I will call myself out when I'm being stupid, and I was being stupid. Now, fortunately, kind of learned my lesson, going about it a different way. So over the next probably 3 or 4 months, I've got a pretty good program in place that's already kind of working, and hopefully we're gonna get that. We're gonna knock that off and we'll get back where it should be. So I'm the first trash talk tonight. I will talk trash about myself. So anybody that calls me fat, I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not like massively rotund or anything, but definitely I got to lose that. I got to drop that weight. Well, actually, I need to drop the fat and regain the muscle that I lost by sitting around so much. What's up, Flow State? Good to see you, my man. You wanna come up and talk some trash? We got trash talk going on. So, but yeah, man, I'm always happy to talk trash about myself. That's the lamest shit you've ever seen. I got to start off somewhere. We're gonna move on, but that was seriously. I wanted to talk about that. The next thing we got to talk about some of my trolls. We've had some trolls in here this week. You guys have seen them. You ever seen them? And Trash Talk Anson. Look, Anson's in a sensitive place right now, so everybody else should Trash Talk Anson. I have agreed to not Trash Talk Anson for a period of time. So, but the rest of you guys are weapons free. Go ahead and Trash Talk Anson. So, where is Moonlight? Moonlight never has shown back up. Moonlight has apparently the dumb bitch is out there saying that I'm up in her DMs when everybody knows that's bullshit. There's no receipts on that one, bitch, because you ain't got them. You're after Jim Bob. All right, that's cool. That's cool. I don't think she's running, so she just disappeared. I think it's a figment of our imaginations. I think Moonlight is a ray of moonlight. So there you go. All right. You're trying to trash talk Jim Bob. Jim Bob's hard to trash talk because he will just roast the fuck out of you. So yeah. Chairman, I'm just going to tell you right now that the way I treated chairman of the board, he has it's pretty much the equivalent of sand under his foreskin. Is how raw that was. But anyway, ganging up on old Joe. Old Joe is hard to trash talk, man. He's too easy going. Stacy, I believe that's what I heard. I don't know that for sure. Apparently, and I have not seen this. I have no proof of this. This is literally just trash talk. Moonlight, if you're listening and you think that I am talking trash about you, unwarranted, not earned, this is not earned trash talk, you didn't really do this, then by all means, come along and defend your honor, young miss. However, I think we all know the truth that you lied and said that I was up in your DMs. Now, literally everybody on this, anybody that's ever listened to my show knows that's not true. I don't slide up in them DMs, bro. As a matter of fact, I'll kick you out of my DMs, because, happily married man. So anyway, Jim Bob lives in a refrigerator box under an overpass. That's actually pretty spicy, Flo. That's pretty fucking spicy. Yeah. Who can't bully the homeless? Well, I mean, it's multiple personalities could be. I don't like to pick on. I don't like to do that. What's interesting is that I may have actually sent chairman of the board some pics. I don't know, but I think the real question is if Moonlight is in the chat listening. I don't know. Maybe down by the river. So yeah. You missed some shows, man. You have to go back and watch some stuff. So now and since you're here and you actually asked me you did DM me and asked me what the deal with Are We Not Men is. Now I trash talked Are We Not Men quite a little bit last night. We Are Not Men is well, he's an alcoholic, folks. And so while normally I would refrain from poking fun at people who with an addiction that they're not in control of, if you keep doing stupid shit, at some point people are just going to do stupid shit and call you on it left, right, and center. And I got to be honest with you, We Are Not Men is the biggest fucking loser on the internet. Literally, this is somebody who is taking credit for somehow improving the grift of shows where he moderated, when at the exact same time there were women complaining about how bullied they felt. Guys like Jack, who spurg anyway, were spurging hardcore because Are We Not Men would just randomly time him out for no fucking reason. Matter of fact, he would time people out for no fucking reason just because. And he said that, well, when I asked him, I actually did ask him about it once. He said, well, they do it over at the Crucible. Well, that's a very specific audience, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not my audience. So although some of it is, that's Andrew's thing. This is my thing. And so I never really cared about that. But the biggest problem, he is the worst mod. Yeah, you're right. He's the worst moderator ever. He is actually not a moderator. All he is a bully and a wrench collector. And anybody that gives him a wrench literally and including myself, deserves to have their head examined. I gave this dumbass a wrench, and I paid for it, right? Like I have people leave the channel because the you know, hold on, did I miss something here? I hope Rachel is okay too. I will have to check on her tomorrow. Make sure she's okay. Oh, Jack M is pretty cool. I actually like GM pretty good. But no, We Are Not Men not doing a good job at all. And he sorry, I got distracted there. But when you had, I don't know. It was an interesting thing. And to be honest, it all came to a head that when so you guys don't know this, but basically and he's deleted and changed a lot. He committed the really honest, I wouldn't have given a shit, but he committed the sin, a cardinal sin of going back through our Discord conversation and editing his fucking responses, knowing that I was going to send that shit to knowing I was going to send that shit to Andrew because I assumed that Andrew would want to know, and yeah. Yeah, the role of a moderator, he just does everything. Yeah, that's right. But at any rate, the and look, here's what happened, guys. So I think it was Imperious I had up. It might have been the Thorpes or somebody else that they did. Maybe it was Flow State that I had up. And Are We Not Men is raging in my DMs about how that if I continued to platform these people, the Crucible would basically kick me out. That I would, I was no longer going to be welcome there. Blah blah blah. Bullshit. And so I happened at that very moment in time that he was saying this bullshit. I was literally on panel with Andrew. So I asked Andrew. I literally said, "Hey, Andrew, I'm getting word from someone that if I platform certain people, that I'm going to be thrown out of the Crucible, and that I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be welcome, and you're not going to send me more raids and blah, all this other bullshit." And Andrew said, "Well, first of all, I speak for myself. Nobody speaks for me," which I already knew that. It's just the way it is. And then look, when I asked Andrew about it, We Are Not Men went fucking nuts in my DMs. And that was the end, honestly. I had nothing else to say to him because you just can't say shit like that, right? And not be able to back it up. If you were going to say something to me, you better be able to back that shit up. Well, he couldn't, obviously. That was fine. It was cool. I thought it was all done. Right. And Angel, you're right. And that's what Andrew told me, 100%. That's exactly what he told me. So that very night, I removed Are We Not Men as a moderator. I didn't ban him from the channel, but I blocked him on Discord. I kicked him out of my Discord and all that kind of shit. I wasn't trying to be, I wasn't trying to be a dick about it. It's just, look, you can't fucking lie to me. Okay. And you can't start telling me that, shit that is, look, it's just, you just don't do it, right? Like, that's just the way it is. You can't do it. So I kind of forgot about it. I was like, fuck, Are We Not Men? And then, and then he's been coming back in. I assume that it's because, he needs the attention, or he doesn't understand, or he's, he wants to like come back in and, be a member of the group again, because obviously where the fuck he is now, nobody gives a shit. And, but if you see me treating him badly when he comes in here, that's why. That dude is literally like, I rarely ever say things like this, but that dude has no place on my channel. He's an ass to all women. This dude is never going to get laid again in his fucking life with his attitude. So, yeah. Yeah. And so, there was other things he did too. Like he would look, no fucking shit at all. He would send me a message on Discord saying, "Hey, how about $200 for your top mod?" And I'm like, "Why? What have you done?" Like, and he basically was trying to take, so when you guys would donate, right? He was taking credit for getting you guys to donate, and then he wanted a percentage of that. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, that seems weird to me, right? I'm not above that. I 100%, like, if you could prove to me that you brought in $1,000 in donations or some shit, I would happily give you 10, 15%. No fucking problem. But just to come in and say, just because you were here and you said, "Oh guys, let's grift a little bit," that's not how that fucking works. And again, seriously, the guy is an alcoholic. Like, I'm not fucking around about that. I seriously think he's fucking an alcoholic. And he did worse to Glenn. And honestly, I don't give a shit what he did to me, because realistically, all he did to me was be an asshole on my channel, and we have those in regularly. The big problem in my eyes was the shit that he pulled with Glenn. Same thing. He tried to get money from Glenn. He tried the same bullshit, saying that if he didn't, and his problem really was with Michelle, because he considers Michelle a degenerate, and because he just doesn't like women. Like, this motherfucker just does not like women. And so, Michelle went over there and was helping Glenn turn the channel around. Everything was going great. Just because I don't agree with her lifestyle doesn't blind me to the fact she's a good human being. She's a good person, right? And Are We Not Men had a big problem with that. And so I have again, I had a real problem with that. I have a bigger problem with what Are We Not Men did to Glenn than anything he did to me. He did the exact same thing of saying, if he kept having Michelle on, that he was going to lose his audience. Literally, he said that. He said that people were going to leave the channel because of Michelle, when in fact it was Are We Not Men harassing people, bullying them, that was driving people away. And this is the kind of bullshit this is the kind of trash talk that I like doing, because he's a fucking dick. He's a dick that's never going to get laid again in his life unless he pays for it. And even then, he's going to have to pay double, because that's, whores have standards, believe it or not. And And it's been interesting the last week or so. He's been in here, and he's trying, he's trying to say, "Oh, I'm just having funny. I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun, whatever." And I'm like, dude, fuck off, get out of here. And most of the time, to me, I'm just having a good time with it. But wait, hold on. Are you, bro? Is everything okay, Grapples? He has to go because of an asthma episode. I'm a single dad with 3 daughters, and I just got to go at the moment. You okay, dude? I'm not going anywhere. I think I missed something. I apologize. I wasn't really paying attention to all the chat, and then all of a sudden, dude, I got kids too, man. I got kids too. I understand 100%, 100%. That's right. We're talking trash because there's none on me. Look at that. It's actually cream, but it because of the lighting, it looks white. That's cool. Yeah, go take care of your kids, man. 100%, 100%. So anyway, does anybody else, Naomi and Mikey Balls, you owe me an appearance on screen. Mikey, Naomi, the link is in the mod chat. Come on up. Ben, if I was like, fuck your kids, I would beat myself in the fucking face. I would literally not be able to face myself. I know that those two, first of all, they're both mods, and they can both get the link and just jump right up here. It's no big deal. No big deal at all. By the way, guys, if I drop off, it's because the weather here is. How are you not in the mod chat? I added you in the mod chat. It's coming down, ladies and gentlemen. How is Nate? Where is Naomi? Let me find Naomi. I will fix that, Naomi. I have to do it in the Discord, and I don't want to get too distracted. All right, so that's enough about Are We Not Men, right? Are we good? We done with We Are Not Men? We Are Not Men is pretty terrible. He's a pretty terrible dude. And if you see him in here and I'm short with him, or I make fun of him or whatever, I'm not just being a dick. I'm being a dick with purpose. It's a dick with purpose. Okay. So, that's what's up. If you're messaging me, well, never mind. None of you guys are. So never mind. All right. Well, we were still talking about that. We just started talking about. We're wrapping it up, Wade Boggs, for sure. Give me Naomi. You got that link yet? Mikey can get it for you. Bro, Agripolis, you don't have anything to worry about, man. No, you can talk trash about anybody right now that's actual, talking trash. If I was only forced to have one deer rifle, that's a good question, man. Old Joe comes in hardcore. If I was forced to have only one deer rifle, what model, caliber, and sight would I pick? I would pick an AR-15 in 300 blackout with probably any 1 to 10 night force. It doesn't matter. They're all good to me. So. Kissy Cat, it's like even raining, it's like 70 degrees outside right now. Fucking hot. Come on, Naomi and Mikey Balls. Come on up here. Come along. Hey, Kissy Cat gave 5 more memberships. And some really cool people are getting them. No, bro, but I love 300 black for deer. First of all, it suppresses really easily, and the other thing is that I load it with a 120. We're just sitting down right there, so that's what it is. I'm in a forest, so my furthest shot's like 100 yards or so. Now, if we're talking about, out west where I was shooting at like 600 yards, I want my 6.5 Grendel. I actually really, really like the I actually really, really like the suppressed hunting guns. So mainly because there's so much encroachment, so many people. Stacy, Lady Christ Warrior, I am not familiar with you. Would you mind terribly telling me who you are? Imperious, you may not have a hug. But Imperious can have a link. He can come up and talk shit. We're going to get into some more shit talking in just a minute. I got to calm down for 1 second, guys. Just give me 1 second, and I will I'll be right there. But mods, maybe we wait until after Naomi and Mikey have been up, but let's see what we get. Give me 1 sec. I got to calm down. Stand by. Sorry for that station break. I wanted to look outside to see how bad it was raining. It sounds bad because it's a tin roof above this, but it's actually not that bad. We'll see. We'll see. So anyway, so we've covered the We Are Not Men. We've talked a little bit. I've trash talked myself a little bit. I kind of want to trash talk a little bit about. And look, I want to be clear up front. I really have no animosity or ill will against these people, but I got to kind of talk a little trash because it kind of earned it. So yesterday afternoon, I was on panel with Rolo and Michael Sartain. Now, what you guys don't know is Michael Sartain. When I was out in Vegas, I was supposed to link up with Michael Sartain, and he and I were supposed to do a show together, and he just didn't act that interested, and basically, he was just like, yeah, whatever. And it was like, yeah, whatever, fuck that guy, doesn't care. It was on CT's show. It was on CT's show, Angel Berber. So Sartain, I don't. Again, I have some issues with the things they say, and I kind of wanted to talk to them about it. And I got a few minutes, but not a little bit. But when I was out in Vegas, I just didn't care. I did actually get to do a show with Daverick from the Black Ice podcast, and that was cool. That was a cool show. But I felt I was a little hacked off, I was a little miffed, if you will, that here I am, I'm in town, and it wasn't even that Sartain was like, yeah, I just don't want to do the show with the guy. It was just like he made excuses. He just didn't act like he was that interested. Just didn't bother to call. Didn't bother to get back in touch with me. None of that shit, right? And so yesterday I got a chance to talk to him, and instead of I'm gonna be honest, I was respectful. Now, the one thing I feel like I was respectful. Anybody that saw that segment, feel free to provide your opinion on whether or not I was being respectful or not. I feel like I was, and I think yesterday went well, right? We'll get to that, Ben. Calm down, brother. Calm down. We'll get to the liberals. Actually, I have a whole other thing here in just a minute, but we'll get to that in a second. So Sartain and Rollo are on the show, and they're basically up there proselytizing, giving a sermon. Nobody's really challenging them. And it's really kind of this, like, they have an answer for everything. So I jump on panel. Listen, I'm quiet, and then I go in, right? And I called Rollo on some things. I called Sartain. I didn't really call Sartain on some things. I pushed back on a bunch of things with both of those guys, and Rollo pieced out. Rollo just, the minute I started kind of pushing Rollo on Pearl and why everybody has a problem with Pearl, but she says the exact same things they do. And then he says, well, that's because she stole my material. And I'm like, but everybody literally uses your material. I mean, look, he could just say, look, I just don't like the bitch. Right. And I told him, I'm like, look, I don't know Pearl. I've talked to Pearl a few times. She seems cool. I don't know what to make of her. There's some other things that she said that I was like, I don't know. This seems weird. Who cares? Pearl's Pearl. But I think it was probably, somebody correct me, somebody was watching. Rollo was probably only on like 5-6 minutes after I started talking, and then he punched out. He pieced out. He was done. He didn't want to have anything to do with me. Sartain actually held his ground there for a little bit, but once I started pushing back against his nonsense, especially about their prescriptions. Well, actually, I think what it was I called him on him saying that all he does is descriptors when actually he's doing prescript. Yeah, he's doing prescriptors. Look, here's the thing. I like Pearl a lot. I think Pearl is able to do things in this space that other people aren't able to do. Maybe Sartain's position is accurate. That Pearl is kind of the running joke of the red pill or some crap. But I don't know. And I mean, they can say whatever they want. But I challenged, the fact that, they don't really have a religious component to the red pill and some other things. You guys go watch it. It was good. My only, I'm talking some trash here because I feel, I'd really like to have another sit down and talk with Rolo because, to be honest, I think he walks the line between being full of shit and being full of crap, and it's hard to tell a difference. So I would really like to sit down, and I really pushed back. The thing I think that really pissed Rolo off was when I pushed back that Andrew Wilson is not red pill, and him calling Tommy Lahren out for being a feminist had nothing to do with being red pill, like literally nothing. She's a part-time feminist or whatever you want to call her, but Andrew putting her to the question because she doesn't follow patriarchy has nothing to do with red pill. And I think that really pissed Rolo off. And hey, that's fine. I'll be glad to have the discussion with him anytime on my show or his show. All he's got to do is reach out. It's totally cool. I have no hate for the guy whatsoever, but I am going to talk a little trash because I think he ran the fuck away. So from a fat guy, right? I self-identified as fat earlier. You guys can't change that. Where the hell is Naomi and Mikey Balls? Mikey Balls, please report to the office. So Naomi can't run away. Don't run away, Naomi. Why am I appropriating your culture? How am I appropriating your culture? Stacy, Lady Christ Warrior, you were talking about yourself, but I missed it. Could you run that by me again? So anyway, I'm husky. That's why we call it the fat kids. Stacy is a shy one. Okay, that's fine. Beth was shy too, but she had a great time up here. Is that not correct, Beth? I have the cool show. Just gonna tell you. She's Crucible. Cool. I got a Crucible. I'm there. Beth is not shy. Well, not now. All right. So now, look. Now that we got everybody here. We got everybody. Okay. So you remember me from whatever then, Stacy? Well, I'm very good at getting people to talk. Beth should attest to that. This is a comfort. This is as close as it gets to a safe space in my realm. Yeah, I called him on that shit too. So yeah, this is currently a trash talking space. All right, so there's one that. So while I'm waiting for Naomi and Mikey Balls and those guys to show up, so I have a friend of mine. He's a car guy, much like myself, and he's actually like a techie guy. Like he's like super cool, computer guy. Does a lot of like really, really interesting stuff. But anyway, so this guy, I'm old, so I got Facebook, right? I know all you young guys are like, oh, fucking Facebook, what the fuck? I have Facebook, and I was checking this morning for something, I forget what it was, and one of my buddies posts up that his father-in-law was arrested and spent 2 months in jail with no bail, no bond, and they were under very odd charges, trumped up charges, and no bond. and they finally got him released and all that kind of stuff. And he actually he was looking for a press guy to kind of run with it. And I was like, well, I maybe can help, right? So apparently, what happened is this guy's father-in-law gets falsely accused of SA, but there's some political stuff behind it where I think it was like a town election or something. And it's all garbage. And they're suing everybody. The charges have all been dropped. It's a big thing. He had to redact, and I'm being very purposely vague because he had to redact the entire post, and because his lawyers freaked out, as lawyers do. But it was, the conversation he and I had was pretty interesting, right? And so anyway, he basically says, they've been fighting this stuff, fighting it, and he is not, he's not, they're not done because of false accusations, because of false SA allegations, which seems to be more and more is something that happens, like just out of hand, like for no reason. People just randomly, I say people, women usually, randomly start accusing dudes of SA. And then you have people saying, oh, it never happens. Never happens. So I want to trash talk all those people. If if you watch that happen, you suck. Man, there's something going on in the chat. Missed a great cat stream today. She's over talking crap with Damon and everybody. I invited her over here when I think she may be done. I don't know. Yeah. So, yep. All right. So where is everybody? Did I seriously run off my friends? That's terrible. That's terrible. It is terrible. The part that really gets me is he was held in jail on no bond for 2 months. Like, that's crazy. Wicked Wally, you are welcome to come up. And did I really? They don't have to come up. I was being funny. I'm sorry. I was just sorry. All right. What's up, Chronic Avenger? Or pardon me, it's not. Yeah, there are a lot of them. Can we talk about the female prison guards banging the prisoners? I mean, we can. I'm not. You'd have to give me you have to be more specific. You have to be more specific. All right. No, I don't want the position they used. Which prison? Ben, why don't you come on up? Somebody get Ben. I'll give Ben. Do I have Ben in my Discord? Ben, go get a link. I think Flow State is planning on coming up, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. You got a link, Ben. It could be Ben Franklin, but he sounds awfully young to be Ben Franklin. What's up, Octavius? Good to see you. How did the protest things end up happening? Which ones? What is up, Wicked Wally? What, dude?
Oh, good morning.
How the hell are you?
Doing well.
Good to hear it. So you have not been in a debate in a while.
I have not.
Let's talk some trash about that. All you
Sure.
fucking debate channels, never debating. What's up with that?
Since when am I exclusively a debate channel? I'm more of a dumpster fire
I'm not
channel.
talking about you. That's pretty fucking funny. Holy shit, this is hilarious. This is funny. Wait, hold on. How do I? Let me. Well, dang it. There we go. Let's see. This is fucking funny. Hold on. Watch this, Molly. You're gonna like this. Stand by.
Right.
Just when I think that people cannot possibly get more stupid, I am proven horribly wrong.
That's why you never underestimate that shit.
Exactly. What the fuck is wrong with these people? That is damn funny. What's up, Flow State? Hate
What's up, Flow
State?
State?
That guy? Why is he? Oh, there.
There you go.
First of all, I don't even know where to start with you. Opening up your own shit talking stream by talking shit on yourself for being kind of pudgy is the weakest form of shit talking I've ever seen in my life. Second of all,
hey, look, people have been talking shit about me being fat for a while now. I mean, not the same way they talk about.
Lean into it. How old are you?
I'm 53, bro.
You're 53.
I'll be 50.
Rich.
I'm 53.
If somebody with your demographic and financial profile was not kind of fat, there'd be an issue there.
Fair.
Look, just because I'm under 240 now, Grid, doesn't mean you can just start a.
No, you're too young for that. You're too young and poor to be that fat.
I said I'm under 240 now.
You need to get less fat, and he needs to work on his shit talking.
Well, to be honest with you, I thought that was pretty good shit talking, to be honest.
God damn it.
By the way, just out of curiosity, Flo, you seem to have a grudge against We Are Not Men as well.
Oh, yeah, that dude's...
What is this drama, by the way? I don't know anything about it.
Well, I can't rehash it all, but basically, he's a fucktard, alcoholic, nobody.
He's actually literally the worst moderator. And I'm not even saying that. I dislike him personally. That's a separate thing from my astonishment at how incompetent of a moderator he could be. Everything you'd want out of a moderator, like Naomi's a perfect example. She's gangster.
Naomi's an awesome mod.
Imagine Naomi, but everything is the opposite.
It's opposite day.
It's just like there's not one aspect of that role that he could do any worse.
Okay. All right.
But,
Well, I mean, you're right about that, right? I mean, so the biggest thing with Are We Not Men? This is the real thing, the real deal. Like, all right, let me ignore the fact that he was randomly timing people out for no fucking reason, that he was rude and denigrated every single woman that came into the chat.
Yeah, it sounds like him.
No shit. I wondered why women weren't coming to my chat, and I'm talking about women, and everybody said, "Well, you hate women." I'm like, "No, I don't. What the fuck?" And but it was literally, Are We Not Men? We're just randomly timing women out and being rude to them and all this bullshit. And let's just skip
he's
that.
gay.
Just skip
He's gotta
that.
be gay.
We'll just leave that alone for a minute. He tried to literally extort me for money because he was taking credit for people sending in donations.
That is not the first time I've heard that.
He tried that shit on me as well.
And
that's not the second time I've heard that either.
But the real thing is that, so he hated that I would platform Imperious and you, Flow State, and some other people that were not Crucible friendly, right? And I'm like, well, Andrew and like Michelle, he hated that I would have Michelle up and Imperious and all of that. And Imperious would talk shit about Andrew, and I would be like, yeah, Imperious, you're wrong, shut the fuck up, whatever. But and I would have I had the Thorpes up once, and he just hated that. She's like, you're just not faithful to the Crucible. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm part of the Crucible, so therefore, by definition, I'm being faithful to the Crucible.
Is he still part of the Crucible?
By this much. I mean, he's hanging on by his fingernails. He's already been banned twice and begged Mr. E to let him back in. So he crawled up in my. He sent me a DM on Facebook one day, and I was on. I happened to be on. VOPod's Jake's podcast. And it's just a panel thing. Andrew happened to be up there, and Imperious was spurging out a little bit. And I get this message from We're Not Men, and he says, if you keep programming, if you keep doing platforming Imperious and these other degenerates, Andrew, you're going to lose the support of the Crucible. And then where will you be? And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to lose the support of the Crucible. Fuck off.
He outkicked his coverage with that.
And I was like, fuck off. I literally told him, fuck off. And because I don't respond well to that sort of thing, right? Like I'm not going to have the response. No matter what response you expect, it's not going to be that. My response is not going to be that. So then he's still shit talking and talking about how, you know, that I'm basically going to be forced out of the Crucible. Nobody will talk to me anymore. I'm not going to get Andrew's not going to raid me anymore, and all this other bullshit. And I'm like, well, I didn't know you decided who Andrew raided. And he's like, well, I talked to Mr. E and I get him to raid you. And I'm like, well, that's great, but who the fuck cares? So, since I'm on panel with Andrew, I'm like, hey, Andrew, sidebar. I have this guy who's telling me that if I continue to platform people like Imperious and the Thorpes and whoever the fuck else, I forget who all I said. If I keep platforming those people, that I'm going to lose your support, and you're not going to raid me anymore, and you're not going to do all this shit. And he's like, well, let's just put this to bed that I do what I want to fucking do, right? Like nobody tells me anything. It's my decision. And he said several other things, and the whole time. And by the way, I had We're Not Men had actually gotten so outraged that he blocked me. So he unblocked me during this back and forth between Andrew and I, and is raging in Discord at me and telling me I'm going to be sorry and I'm going to regret it. And I'm going to all of this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And and I told him to go fuck himself again. I'm like, I don't give a shit. You literally don't mean shit to me. Like, you've never helped me. You've never done anything to me. Fuck off and die.
And you fucked him a third time just now, and you don't even know it because you reminded me to block him off Discord.
And so I kicked him from my channel. I demodded him on here. I removed him completely from Discord. 100%. And he's just, and then I didn't know what he had done to Glenn.
You mean by fucking up his audience in his channel?
Huh?
You mean by fucking up his audience in his channel?
Yeah. He was literally going to people in Glenn's channel and telling them that Glenn didn't like them and
oh, no shit.
Or some shit like that. So they weren't welcome on the channel.
How much money was I guaranteed to bring in Glenn back in the day? If I showed up on Glenn's panel, do you remember that? I got kicked.
It was at least $50.
At least $50. And so when I got fed up with Are We Not Men, I told Glenn, I said, I'll still come to your channel, but I'm not staying around to get kicked again. I'll help you. I'll get that one kick, and then I'm out of here. And the reason I'm leaving, and the reason that you're missing out on another $50 or whatever, is exactly because of We Are Not Men.
Yeah.
And that was about 2 weeks before his demise.
Right. So Mikey Balls sends in $9.99. Nothing but the utmost love and respect, Brother Grid. For the rest of chat, maybe you need to freaking donate.
And R. Allen sent in $10 for whatever grift I'm grifting today, which is an androgynous grift. It's a non-specified grift.
But the interesting thing is that a lot of this stuff with Are We Not, and look, I honestly thought it was like half my mod staff. Like, I thought it was Raging Patriot. I thought it was a bunch of guys, but it was really just Are We Not Men. And Are We Not Men would go to different people. Now, not in my chat because my chat's very communicative, but like Mrs. Dii, D-I-I, this Australian girl, she's like a big fan of Glenn's, on his show all the time. And Are We Not Men bullied her to the point where she would not go on the channel anymore. This is going to TTS.
Carousel horse emoji. Naomi, carousel horse emoji, donated $19.99. Super chat, saluting face emoji, grid, flow. Respect, red heart emoji.
I really appreciate that, Naomi. Thank you so much.
I feel left out.
You feel left out? I do. I would too if I were you.
Yeah.
But
well, you know how Grid responds being told what to do. So Grid, you better not send me that $20.
That's right. But I mean, so here we go with another TTS. Stand by.
And Lauren, thank you for the gifted Powder Dusty membership.
Agrolepolis
I'm going to eat something here in a little bit just for that.
Super chat. Love your content, so grift.
I appreciate that, Agropolis. Really do. But I mean so anyway, so that's the whole deal with Are We Not Men, Wicked Wally. He's an alcoholic, sad little man in California who
I thought he was Australian.
Sorry?
I thought he was Australian.
No, he's in California. He works in the construction industry. Another TTS. I thought. Is it not?
I don't think so.
Oh, there it is. It took a minute.
Mike Ball donated $19.99.
He's one of
Let's freaking go.
I have people that I have blocked but have bond amounts in my chat, and Imperius is $100 if he wants unblocked. Not Men is $40, and anybody else with a bond amount is only $20.
Yeah, that dude. There's just something wrong with that dude, and got a member message here.
None of this at all surprises me one bit. Not a bit, and I don't think, as far as like going to streamers behind the scenes about the raids and shit and that kind of drama, he is not even, I think, the first person I've heard of pulling that shit.
Yes, Wallace.
And
oh, did it not trigger? It'll trigger after this.
and just another Canadians down there crying. You don't have to give me shit, Canadian. You know, you have a bond amount, but it's not financial. It's just to stop being a piece of shit in one specific way.
He's I had him banned on this channel. He's found his way back in.
Yeah, I've had to ban several accounts of his. He did one thing that I thought crossed the line. Like, I don't take up other people's fights, but
here's the super chat. 1 second.
Yeah.
Agrolepolis donated $10. Super chat. Go, 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 go.
And while I'm at it, John Deadman, member for 4 months. Thank you, brother. Respect to you, Grid. I have other feelings about the other two. Wally not as bad as State. Shit talking. Let's fucking go. LOL. You know, I like John Deadman a lot. You know, he got me one evening, and that was fun. All right, so we got another TTS rolling through.
This is fucked up. Wally.
What?
We're straggling behind.
Are we not women? That's funny.
I ain't even grifting. You kidding me? I should start.
Taxo donated $20.
Why aren't you grifting? That's your problem.
Chat.
Yeah, I know. I didn't plan to be live tonight.
Oh, that's funny. Thank you.
I'll start. You know what I'll do, Flo, is I'll start the long-term grift goal of Wally and Eternal do IRL streaming.
I don't know what that means, but I just hate to see people not see carping the DM of the grift opportunities that they're allotted.
Hey, welcome in Viking Paradigm and Paige and Chris Lestrange and all the rest of you guys who just came in. Really appreciate you guys coming in. I've got to be honest. So the thing is that I brought Are We Not Men in as a mod because he said that he was part of the Crucible and that he modded over there and that sort of thing. And then I found out that he did not actually mod at all for the Crucible. So, anyway, he's just bad dude. It was that's what the deal is, Wally. And here's the thing. After the whole deal with he and I and the thing with Andrew, I thought he was gone. I hadn't seen him. Every now and then he'd pop up in chat, make some snarky comment, and then leave. I really didn't care. It did piss me off what he did to Glenn. That was bad. But, hey, Glenn will deal with that. That's his deal, not mine.
I mean, when I saw him in my chat like a couple weeks ago, for the first time, the first thing I did was boot him.
Yeah,
I knew he was just going to talk shit. I'm not dealing with
it. Shit talker. So, but he basically, but for some reason, the last couple of weeks he's been coming in, and it's been pretty. It was, it's just kind of funny at first, but now it's become like really funny. And to be honest with you, I think it's funny to just to ban him, to kick him out and all of that. But he thinks I'm getting mad about it. I'm like, no, dude, I feel bad for you. Like, you're literally a fucking alcoholic loser that we talk shit about. So you shouldn't do that.
Sucks to suck.
And then we talked a little shit about this girl Moonlight who was coming in. Now, I was told that she came from Jim Bob's chat, but what I ended up coming to find out, not Sarah, Beth told me last week that this was a girl that actually is on, that was from the Crucible. She goes by Sarah G. I've seen her on the Whatever chat a few times, and she's made some really ridiculous claims about Andrew sending her DMs and shit like that. And but I didn't know that. So I knew her as Moonlight. She came in. I just wish she could come up on the show. debate that I didn't. Well, so the debate prompt last weekend or last Monday sucked balls. So I was like, I'm not in this. This is terrible. I'm not doing it. Fuck all that. You can't make me. And so I bailed on the debate, and I was like, all right, that's fine. I'll have this Moonlight girl up, and we'll just do a special show. It'll be cool.
She no-showed. I remember that.
Yeah, she no-showed, and because Beth Mayhew and Paige and some of the other Crucible ladies were in here waiting for her to come up so that they could confront her. I didn't know this. So when she didn't show on time, I was like, well, fuck it. I got to have somebody up here. So I had Beth come up, and we talked. We actually had a great show that night. It was really a lot of fun. And Beth was initially, it was a first timer. She hadn't been up on a stream before, so
I got lost in this story like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's fine.
Is it landing somewhere, or are we just meandering around the block?
Yeah, the chick that goes by Moonlight is just bad news, and so we can talk a little bit of shit about her. Still has never come back.
I don't think you need to qualify or justify your shit talking.
Yeah, I feel like I like to though.
God damn it!
You have your style, I have mine.
We're gonna work on you.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
We're gonna meet him up.
Yeah. So, Moonlight. Moonlight showed up like halfway through the fucking show. It's like, why is she up there? And I'm like, because you didn't show the fuck up. What the fuck do you think I'm gonna do? Just gonna cancel the show because you didn't show the fuck up? Like an old Joe's like, I suggest you talk shit about Bill Hicks. Why was Bill Hicks another? I like Bill Hicks.
I like Bill Hicks, but he definitely deserves to be talked shit about.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk shit about him, so I'm going to have somebody else lead off on that. I don't know what to talk shit about Bill Hicks on. He has that ridiculous smoking like 1970 guys. Avatar.
I don't know that I have an angle right off the top of my head to go at Bill Hicks over. That isn't going to simultaneously offend basically everybody watching.
That's okay.
So I'm going to eat some food before I make any rash decisions.
Yeah, you should
mock him for his religion or his
blood sugar.
But not Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks redeemed himself. I thought that you were confusing when you were talking about not men earlier. I thought you were confusing him with Speakeasy, because that's somebody else who came in and tried to like, if you have such and such up, I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah. Yes, I'm going to talk a little shit about Speakeasy. I hope he hears it and comes running like he normally does. But look, if you're going to have a show,
tell him Ben Thorpe is here.
Tell him what?
Ben Thorpe is here.
I haven't paid attention to the Thorpes since the whole drama with Grace and Keemstar, with her trying to get on the Lil Cow Queen show. But I think I got a girl Grace would like to meet.
The interesting thing about the Thorpes is they're driving across country. I think they're stuck in Texas right now.
Yeah, they're in Texas right now. I actually checked out of curiosity earlier.
Yeah, I think they're in. Sorry, so they are in Texas. So get this, Flo. You're gonna love this, and then I'm going to talk a little shit about you. But
I hope it's justified.
You're gonna love this. They're going to fucking Vegas, and they're going to actually meet up with Hormaxer for I have no fucking clue what reason. Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's some desperate content right there.
That is that like the bottom of the barrel? I can't do. All my content ideas suck the nuts.
Hormaxer is an accent, but he's not a main dish, and he's definitely not what you travel for.
He's a sidebar. He's a side table.
I don't even know who this person is. I know nothing about him. I just hear the name a lot.
It's like the little piece of lettuce underneath the fruit on your fruit plate, right? Like, it's not really.
No, he's like the pistachios sprinkled on top. You're like, why the fuck are these even here? They add nothing. They a little crunch, but that's it. Not even enough to get the flavor. Anyway, John Deadman.
Talk shit at me, fat boy.
Speakeasy is a cool kid. You won't find me saying anything else. Hey, you know what? I didn't say that he was not a cool kid. But if you're gonna have a show, where like people can plan their week around, fucking have the show. And if you're gonna be sick or you're gonna, look, things happen, man.
I have withdrawals.
Well, I mean that's
not muted. I never said he's not cool either. Just that he's not a Christian. Neither am I really, but whatever. Yeah. I thought I was expecting some shit to be talked at me, and so far all I've been doing is talking shit.
I'm getting there. But look, so the thing is, the Speakeasy, I went on I expected a show to have happened last night, didn't happen. I think last week there was like a show, but I don't know because it's been too irregular. Look, stick to a schedule. That's all I'm saying. Or turn it over to, just say, hey, this is just something I do when I want to. And that's cool. So now, I was trying to follow this whole fucking Mel drama bullshit that you covered into such depth that I
can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you, Grid.
Yeah, no, the problem is that you spread it over like 3 fucking weeks of episodes. There was all of this sidebar bullshit, and I'm like, what? So wait, I think I got it, but I don't know that I got it. Well, how long did you need to drag this out, man? How many hours of content is there?
I'm just surprised no one's ever clipped my joke after I made it about Mel, where I said her face just reminds me of that old Simpsons episode where Homer invents the makeup applicator that's a double-barreled shotgun.
Yeah, that's funny.
She got, man. All right, let me not be unnecessarily cruel. I presented it. This was breaking real-time information I was bringing you. I can only reveal it as fast as I get it in. Pause.
It seemed to be never-ending. I'll give you that.
Yeah, and with drama content, right, which does definitely pay more bills than anything else. I try to actually err on the side. I try to leave the topic before it gets stale, right? But I just, with the Mel thing, you're not wrong. I kept trying to end that topic, and then something else would happen. So, but it's gotten great views.
I'm sure
people can't seem to get enough of it. So if something else, pops its head up, I will be sure to cover that.
Boy, that really opens Pandora's box, doesn't it?
Where is Teriak been?
And the sweet synchronicity is that the whole shit show, what really started it was she was trying to outperform me in sneaky ways. When I stumbled across that Discord chat, I was like, haha.
Okay.
Because all my enemies fail, Grid.
Well, I mean,
Grid, if you want Teriak, just say something positive about women and he'll show up to cook.
I mean, you're not wrong. I have noticed that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when I realized, like, when he started trying to come after me about a month and a half-ish ago, I realized, I'm like, oh shit, this was right after your like breakup on stream with Kat. The wound was fresh. I got to give him grace.
Teriak's weird to me. I don't think
he's
I
weird to me
understand.
too. But
I don't think I understand him. Like he says that he's. Initially, when I met him, he was like he seemed super religious and pretty based, And then and then it was like he wasn't religious, but he knew a lot about religion. It was like these weird pivots.
Like he's not keeping the story. Like there's a difference
It's
between
like he meant intelligent agnostic.
Well, there's a difference between someone being like, look, I had this opinion, I don't have it anymore, but then they're just kind of all over the place and they can't keep their own damn story straight.
Yeah, he's young though, right? I'm confident in him. Like he may be kind of all over the place, but he's got a good enough thought process when applied that I'm comfortable he'll work out.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to turn around and become a communist, but at the same time, it's like if he's going to go over if he's going to be making all the religious arguments, it's like, well, get your own story straight before you actually have a position.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Well,
Like I would say the same thing of someone who wanted to be like, well, I'm super libertarian on economics, but here's where we could use a little socialism, guys.
Wait. What the fuck are you talking about, John Deadman? I'm all for talking shit, but I'm not really
good at it.
Sure what this is about.
I'm still waiting to be talk shit on at all.
Dude, that whole thing was just like a fucking.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay?
I'll talk some shit. I can't
really talk that much more shit about Flo. Flo has actually been doing a really good job of just fucking people up left and right.
I'll talk some shit.
I tried pretty hard actually to get some shit out of you when we first met, and I think that there was some, but it was definitely less than I'm expected to getting. Normally, I get much bigger.
It's funny because I've got a new one. I got a new flow. This chick Ava the G.
Oh yeah,
keeps coming in and trying to like get a rise out of me or troll me or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. You're a loser. Get out of here. So
I like Ava. I talked to her last night, and we clashed on climate change. But that's because I can think and she can't.
I was gonna say, I'm shocked you had like a real conversation, but sure, okay, yeah. Anyway,
I'll talk some shit about Flo. Flo, you've aged into an older Fred Durst better than Fred Durst has. He's aged into Jeff Jarrett.
I really have, but you know what? If you look at Fred Durst in the Dad Vibes music video, you're probably not I get it. You probably don't watch Limp Bizkit music videos still like I do. But Fred Durst has actually aged into looking like, I swear to God, he looks just like my fucking dad in that music video.
The last time I saw him, he looked like an older version of Jeff Jarrett, who's already pretty fucking old, and I was expecting him to break a guitar over someone's head.
Okay. All right.
If you're not a wrestling fan, that goes right over your head. It's okay.
I dabbled in the 90s, but
this is funny because I think Ben's right about this. That's actually not even shit talking. That's just facts.
All right.
I don't think he gets paid.
Look, Ben has made the best contribution to shit talking of anyone in the stream besides me, and maybe just another Canadian, but he's more just like rage crying because he's mad at me.
Is he still out there?
He was a little bit ago.
I got you. Okay.
This actually is definitely the Walmart Hanes collection.
I was going to say, that shirt does look like you pulled it out of a plastic bag.
That's literally what happened. Because when I was typing in chat, I was messing with my truck some more because fucking exhaust leak. Yeah, no, I just had to.
Chris Lestrange wants a piece. Flow State has trash arguments for debates. There, I joined in, and Wally is simping. He left out the M there on Eternal.
I mean,
what would you suggest he simp on instead? There's enough dudes simping on other dudes in the panelverse. I'm telling you. I think a lot of you motherfuckers are gay.
You got to kind of wonder sometimes, but I don't know if they're gay. They're just incapable of.
I will say this. I did see the most creative way to make pancakes I've ever seen the other day.
Diabetes.
I don't think it's where pancake batter was supposed to go, but she found a way to make them that way.
What did Imperius get banned for, Lawrence? He got banned. He made some sort of a like, because he keeps kicking the TOS line, right? He's been around long enough. He knows how TOS works.
Oh yeah,
he's just a selfish dickhead. So yeah, he's banned until his supposed lawyer ass comes up with $100 to bond out of jail. But I don't see that happening. He needs 100. Not Min needs 40. I don't remember who the 20s are. And Just Another Canadian needs to delete that post.
What post?
He made one going after the Wilsons, but like he's always going after the Wilsons, but he did it in like a particularly egregious manner a week or two. I don't know, a little bit back.
Well, I mean, Jack. Jack said some really, really not very kind things about Glenn and Andrew, and that's why I don't have any time for him at all. So.
See, and I don't fight other people's battles I try not to, and I don't expect anybody to fight my battles. But sometimes you see something, it's just like, I don't even want to be associated with that. If you're gonna be putting that shit on your wall, like I just don't need you in my chat because that's fucking grotesque.
I thought Imperius was going to come up and shit talk a little bit, but he did not.
Because he's fucking scared of me because he's banned like a little bitch, and he's too broke to save himself.
I just know that it's like when I already knew a lot of people having reputations on Discord servers before I ever seen them getting active in YouTube chats, and then when people start saying so and so's a problem, so and so's another problem, I'm like, I could have told you that for free from Discord, but nobody ever wants to listen till they're a problem in that yard.
Yeah, I'm okay giving people a chance and like learning that on my own, and actually give them a lot of chances. I'm fairly good at managing unmanageable people, but at some point it's just like, now you're just being a dick on my channel.
So do you still have Angry Casper come on your channel?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't come here.
Oh, you pissed him off. He gets sensitive. He's a
sensitive guy.
He's sensitive.
He is. He's sensitive in a way that would make most women jealous.
He's like a delicate clitoris.
He's worse.
See, that's why I'm like, I'm always like fair enough, like to what Flo was saying. It's because I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt and be like, look, because this is the experience I saw a lot of people have with them on Discord doesn't mean they're going to be the same way in a YouTube chat, but often I get proven wrong.
Thank you, Sarah. She dropped $10. She says she votes Grid and Flo have a super chat war. I think that's a fantastic idea, but I am well behind him at this point.
That's true.
But if we're starting with that comment, I'm $10 ahead. Thank you, Sarah, for the fantastic idea and for giving me the lead.
That's on my channel.
No, it wasn't. Fuck. Did she do it on both of us?
Yeah.
No, she hit. Okay, she hit both of us. You freaked me out for a second.
All right, got it. All right, got you. All right, so.
But that thinks I'm a little bit from New England, Grid.
I gotta answer TVT. Look, the Vengeful Truther. What Jack did. Look, I really didn't care him spurging out about how his Christmas was supposedly ruined and all that kind of stuff. But what he actually said in multiple places in chats and other places, which it was a clear TOS violation. He knew it, but he was basically saying that Andrew and Glenn were pedophiles because they, fucked up his son's Christmas or whatever.
Well, okay, can anybody explain why he every time he comes under criticism, he's like, "They fucked up my kids and used them against me." But like,
because
I don't know.
all right, this is the actual truth of that. Is he went around and he even came to me and he said, "Look, I will clip your channel and I'll make clips of it and I'll give them to you for free." And then I guess he was actually using them on his own channel. He didn't. I don't think he used many of mine, but with Andrew's he did, and they were okay with that as long as he clipped the older stuff that was available to the public, or he clipped a current video, but it was just a clipper, just clips. What he ended up doing and is still doing, and I can't believe they haven't just fucked him up over it. I think Andrew is the kindest human being on the planet, because I think anybody else by now would have literally had this kid like so many cease and desist orders sent and all kinds of things.
He's Canadian.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean,
I don't know how that shit works.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter. I mean, Mr. E is in Canada, so but at any rate, basically, he has a membership to the Crucible.video, and he will go and copy entire shows and put them on his channel. And
I don't understand what Andrew's doing with that either, but that's
why he puts
letting him do it, but it's not my business either way.
Well, he's not letting him do it.
That's the thing. It does get reported, to my knowledge, at least.
Yeah, so every time they find one of his accounts, they shut it down, but he just pays $25 and gets a new account.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is like, even when people do that shit, it's like, yeah, you can edit stuff in a way to game the system where it's like, it's kind of difficult to still claim copyright on the shit anymore at that point.
And
people will just they'll splash a new like background over it. They'll put some foreground effects on it and tell you it's theirs.
Yeah, well, and I'm gonna get to that in just a second. But actually, I'll get to that now, and then I want to move on to this. So the thing is Jack literally told me all I have to do is change the music, and that there's nothing they can do. But I mean, he's literally ripping off the entire show, and they can't. Here's the truth. The truth is, I don't think Andrew cares. I think Andrew doesn't mind the kid making a few bucks, and he doesn't begrudge him doing it. It's the way that he's doing it, and the way that he throws so much bullshit back at them that kind of annoys them. And I just don't. And that's, I have zero positive energy at all for Jack. Like, Jack has used up all goodwill in the universe. Period.
I'll give credit where credit's due. He recommended the soundboard I got now. I'm okay with actually a lot of negative and hostile energy. It might surprise some of you. But sometimes, like, you just have to quit being a complete fucking lunatic and join the rest of us in reality.
Yeah.
I think I'm generally like very gracious to a lot of people, because I just tend to go in with, you know what, I'm going to judge people by how they treat me. So as long as you don't as long as I don't see the knives going in my back, I'm going to be perfectly cordial.
It's not a knife, bro.
Yeah, I don't even give a shit.
Not a knife.
I don't even give a shit. Here's the thing. Up until the moment Jack called Glenn and Andrew pedophiles, publicly,
when you get into egregious shit, that's when I'm like, okay, like, that's
publicly, multiple places, going in their streams, doing all that kind of shit. Up until that point, I was still trying to help him. I was still talking to him. I was like, hey, dude, just calm down. It'll work out. It'll be fine, whatever. And then he crossed the line. There's no coming back from in my world. So
he acts like an uppity bitch that is really desperately looking for the boundary, right? And wants to get sat the fuck down. That's how he's acting.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Jack M. Sheridan says, I used to body flow state on Angela Knight panels.
I don't remember you, bro. But if Grid's okay with it, you're welcome to come body me. Or you can join my panel later.
Jack was talking mad shit the other night, and Ben Ben called him out and said, "Go up," and gave him the link and everything. And Jack did not want to come up.
I've
And
only been on Angela's. I only went on Angela's like twice.
so she quit, right? Didn't she quit?
Yeah, I think that I guess it got too toxic, and she had other shit to do or whatever. It is a pretty toxic world, but
yeah. Oh, dude, the other day I was reviewing some video and my wife walked in and she's like, "Why do you listen to that?" And I'm like, "Well, that's the debate from the other night." And she's like, "That is the toxic shit I've ever heard."
Have you seen my Flow State's Greatest Hates compilations?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god. I'll put the link backstage for you. It's fantastic shit.
Yeah.
I really enjoy them. I'm working on the fifth well, I guess it would technically be
I gotta answer where the fuck Crystal Strange. Yeah, so that I actually saw that the other day, where Imperious is saying crazy shit about Andrew's kids. That's gone a little too far. Imperious has to figure some shit out. On my channel, he always behaves himself. That's all I can say is that he doesn't spurg. He keeps himself in line. I don't know why he does that, but he does. And but yeah,
he's running out of places.
He does say messed up shit. Like he's kind of it seems like Imperious just kind of kept crossing the line, and now he's like really like I saw it the other day on fucking Chaotic Truth, I think. And he was like, it was some messed up shit.
Yeah. I've actually flipped the expectations. He no longer has to stay within boundaries. He has to actually, if he wants to come back, he has to actually provide a benefit to me.
That's cool.
And yeah. I mean, that's the idea behind the bond thing. If people want to come back on my panels, I'm pragmatic.
Yeah. Yeah, Lawrence R., I agree. Kids should be off limits. Lawrence, I'm not familiar with you. Are you the guy I was talking to on CT's panel the other day after Rolo and Michael Sartain left? Are you that guy? I'm not familiar with Lawrence R. Anyway.
Where is the guy that used to wreck me?
Jack M. Sheridan? He's right there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Is he coming up?
I don't think he's going to come up. I don't think so.
What's it like?
No, you've never been on CT's panels? Okay. All right, Lawrence. It was a great conversation I was having. I really want to finish it. But I'll have to find that guy another time. So Ben had a great argument the other night, Flow State.
Against
that I wrecked, but
that you wrecked.
Yeah. No, but it's a good argument. It's a good foundation for an argument, but it just he didn't think it through.
What's the premise, or what's the foundation?
So when we talk about not, one of the points used about women not having the vote is that the reason all men got the vote was because they got that in exchange for registering with Selective Service. The idea that they could be forced to go to war and conscripted against their will. That's why they got the right to vote. Women never had to do anything. They just got the vote. And so the premise is that they shouldn't without the skin in the game, why do they get the right to vote? So
should disabled people get the right to vote?
Should they?
I mean that it I don't even. I heard Andrew making that argument, and I don't think it's a good argument.
I think it's.
I don't actually see why everybody it should be.
Ben, you can come up. I gave you the link. You can come up. You can come up and make up there. Anyway, so his argument is that is comparable to the Supreme Court being able to enact laws that affect all that only affect women, only affect one sex, and so you can't draw that parallel. And I told him that was a bullshit argument.
So, is that actually historically the basis for all men voting?
Yes.
Is okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, so not all men had the right to vote. Originally, to vote in this country, there were there were like several circumstances, but either you had to own property or you had to be in good standing in the community where you were voting, or you had to pay a poll tax. So you had to put skin in the game. You just didn't get to vote because you wanted to vote. That just didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But voting doesn't matter.
I'm fine with it too. I don't know why we changed. I think that's a great way to do things. But
logical.
but then I think this was a way to get the draft passed more than anything else. They gave all free men the right to vote based on they could draft. They had to register for the draft. Now, men, if you don't register for the draft, it can really fuck up your whole life. Like,
I don't even remember if I registered. I mean, I'm sure I must have, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I used to not think it was a big deal. Obviously, I did, but I didn't realize if you don't register for the draft and you ever like apply for a federal job or federal student aid or anything federal and it flags it, you get shit. Right?
Yeah, you get blacklisted from basically everything.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I gave you the link, Ben. If you didn't see it or didn't get it, I was pretty sure I sent it to you on Discord. You have. Let me just make sure. Ben, you have the link. Stop whining. If you want to get up, come on up. $1.99 comes in from John Mosman. Let's get the grid grift going. Yeah, absolutely. We're supposed to be in a race here, and
this is a terrible race.
This is a bad start. This is just a terrible start.
Mm-hmm.
This is like maybe tortoise and hare. This is tortoise versus tortoise grifting right now.
Yeah. So that was why men got the right to vote, and then when women got the right to vote, most women did not want the right to vote. In fact, more women voted for women to vote than women voted for women to vote in the original in that specific deal. And the reason is women did not want several of the things that went along with voting at that time. Now, obviously, everything's fucking changed, so you can't draw a clean parallel.
But I mean, never has anybody's vote actually mattered for the actual federal election results. The mechanisms that select the president are completely independent from whatever we do at the booth when we get our stickers.
I think in the grand scheme of things, it would be more important if we had to make the choice. Do you address women voting or would you rather have a state electoral college? I'd rather have the state electoral college.
Than women voting?
Well, then getting rid of women voting. If you couldn't do both, I'd pick the electoral college.
Kissy Cat donated $20. Take my vote. I don't like deciding things anyway.
Well, you decided wrong, so you have to keep voting.
Well, because when you think about it, if we went to a state electoral college system, that would negate a lot of the vote from areas like New York City and Los Angeles within those states. So a lot of the feminist vote would get routed in that system anyway.
Jack, that's not a mod. That's a bot.
Somebody fighting with Nightbot?
Well, it's WMD. The weapon of mass distraction.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole, I don't think voting matters. I don't vote because it's a waste of time, and I don't do the placebo activity that everybody does to make them feel like they're doing something when they're really just watching TV.
I do.
Your vote doesn't matter. You're libertarian.
I know you do.
Loser.
Look, all you're doing is like watching American Idol and feeling like you're participating. You're not.
Well, isn't that part of the libertarian platform is conceding that your vote doesn't matter?
No, I mean like literally mechanically, it doesn't matter. But we all have been indoctrinated and pumped up and like, yeah, it's our duty. It matters. It don't fucking matter at all.
I DM'd it to you in your DMs, Ben. I will send it to you again in your DMs, Ben.
Ben, go home. You're drunk.
Go drunk. You're home. Or whatever he just said.
Flo hasn't grown up. Flo has grown up. Flo has gone through voting. Flo's gone through not voting. Flo observes reality and concludes that sometimes when you're children, adults lie to you. Santa doesn't exist.
Hey, Jim Bob is
Your vote
in
doesn't matter. And Joseph was the only virgin in that marriage.
Jim Bob, my friend.
And thank you, Nightish, for bringing some super chat to Flow Stateside. I appreciate you.
I just saw Jim Bob. Where did Jim Bob go? Where did his comment go?
I've got my own. I'm going to have my own horse in this grift race.
Go right ahead.
It's okay, Mug. You raise me money whenever you feel like it.
Mug.
I bet Mug can out-grift all of you. I'm gonna let Mug do the heavy lifting.
I mean, I sold the flat bottom of a Pepsi 2-liter last night for $20, but Sarah doesn't want to pay the shipping.
Do that. That was dumb. I feel bad for all those people who
well, Sarah doesn't want to pay the shipping. She told me to throw it away. So guess what? I'm gonna hand deliver it.
Auction it again, right?
She's gonna wake up in the morning and be like, "How the fuck did this 2-liter get here?" And then she'll be like, "Where's all my underwear?"
I mean, I'm not auctioning it, but I got the Faygo bottle my son caught when I took him to ICP.
Yeah, you can't auction that. Probably he'd be pissed.
Yeah. What is up, Mr. Made by Jim Bob? Flow State, aren't you Jim Bob's best buddy now?
Oh, me and Jim Bob. Yeah, we're best buds. It depends on who else is around us.
Yeah.
He revoked my driver's license, on a panel not that long ago. I don't think he meant it though. I don't know that he has that authority.
Yeah. Hey, have you seen my new clip? You're gonna like this. Stand by. Give me 1 second. This is a public service announcement I've been playing at the beginning of my show.
Everyone does it. Now you can do it too. Shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut the hole in your face. Like that. You can do it. Shh. Shut up. And shut the fuck up.
It's a public service announcement for everyone.
That chick is dope. I've used her in one of my videos a while back.
She is funny as fuck.
Yeah.
So it's just a public service announcement, folks. It's not going to hurt you. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that you can, if you don't like it. All right. Anyway, where was I at? Hey, the grift has not flown, and it is.
I'm ahead in the grift game. But
you're ahead.
My yeah. Because Nidus sends in $10 and somebody sent you $2. Right.
20.
I was gonna clarify.
Oh, you got a 20. You got a 20. My chat gave me some feedback. Lauren said more shit talk.
Holy
Basically,
shit,
what Lauren's saying is that you're the reason that I'm not making more money.
Well, this is why I'd like to clarify with some further context. During that panel flow, did you happen to maybe identify as a woman prior to Jim Bob's statement? Because that may have been why he became opposed to you.
I was identifying as the Pope and claiming to have revelation from God.
Jim Bob, if you would like to come up, sir, the moderators will get you a link.
Well, then that actually still isn't unrealistic because I've never seen the Pope drive himself anywhere, so that may be why he took his license away. Yeah, well, I've never seen the Pope.
I don't know, maybe he can explain for his damn self. I think it was pretty presumptuous of him to assume that he had that authority. Or I follow laws anyways.
We already know that you don't. You've gotten the prize to prove it.
I mean, every time I see a busted curb around here, I don't do forensics, but my gut instinct says woman driver.
Asian woman driver too.
Hey, my wife resembles that remark.
I can't imagine the insurance you must.
What do your hubcaps look like?
Oh,
I bet your rims are banged up.
So the SUV's fine, but she got one of the wheels on the car. Hardcore.
What's she? Does she drive? She drives an import car, doesn't she? Is she an Audi?
Well, I buy all the cars, but yeah, we have a. We have so the.
Do you have an Audi?
No, I don't buy anything like that. I have. We have a. I mean, it's no secret. I've said before. We've got a C350 Sport Mercedes, and she curbed the fuck out of the wheel on that thing.
How's the insurance premiums for these days, Grid?
She oddly hasn't hit anything. Now, we used to have a BMW, and she hit a fucking trash can. Like I was like, how do you do that? It's a trash can. It's not even moving. Like
my mom took out a mailbox because she thought a spider was on her hand.
Well, that's not cool.
What? I mean, that would freak me the fuck out. I'd probably go in a mailbox too. I don't even care to say like, fuck bugs, fuck spiders. Snakes are fine. I have no issue with snakes.
Yeah.
Not a fan of spiders.
Really? Interesting. Yeah. Okay. You ran over your zero-turn mower with your F-250 Kissy Cat. This requires explanation.
I had to jump my zero-turn mower off of a trailer over a ravine, and it worked pretty good actually.
What the name of Dukes of Hazzards, or have you got going on over there?
I acquired fuck. Oh my god, I didn't remember the brand. Anyways, it's zero-turn mower, but I had to. Well, I mean, I explained it already. I had to get it over a ravine that I didn't have a way of bridging the normal way, so I just sort of ramped it, and it worked pretty well. Kind of knocked off the bagging part, but it went back on.
Now, them folks in Hazard County hadn't seen a ravine jump like that in quite a while.
They had not.
All right, Ben, you now have the link. I've given you the link 3 times. You literally posted directly below the link.
Your ass is cut off.
I think what bartender is still serving you?
How is Grid One's kind, reasonable ass still babysitting you to get a link through? If you strike out 3 times on getting a link, you're out.
Paige, on behalf of the patriarchy, we commend you for your voluntary secession from driving a motor vehicle if you're going to invent your city at it.
I do, actually. Ben's not trolling. I think Ben might be drunk. I don't know what bartender hasn't cut him off yet, but they need to cut him off.
I mean, maybe he has been drinking if you've been linking him and he ain't been showing up.
It's literally, he sent me a picture of where he sent in the super chat. It is right below where I posted the link. Like, it's literally like I can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
I think that we should just ignore the fuck out of him until he shows up on panel.
Yeah.
It's like not only did you lead the horse to water, but you're literally forcing the horse's head down in the water.
So my phone died right after I criticized your ammo round choice for deer hunting. Yeah, are you like engaging in urban combat with these deers?
No, well, I'm in Tennessee, so the furthest shot that we generally get in the woods is maybe 100 yards. So it's perfect for that. We suppress it. I use a 16-inch barrel. I shoot a 125 TNT spear, thin wall hollow point, which just drops them right there.
And by God, it shatters that deer's body armor like you wouldn't believe.
Bro, you're. I don't think that's proper hunting. Do you wear like a tack vest while you?
No.
Do you radio into command center? Like, have you ever ordered an airstrike?
Huh?
For people who don't understand, 300 Blackout is a specially designed round to be run with a suppressor, typically on a shorter barrel. So this man is out here looking like G.I. Joe, hunting deer with suppressed SBR rounds.
Hey, Ben is here. 2 Bens. Why do I have 2 Bens?
Hello.
Yeah. See, Wade has hunted deer properly.
Can you hear me? Okay.
We can.
We've been hearing you. Yes.
Grid thinks he's still looking for Bin Laden or something.
Dude, I'm just telling you. So here in Tennessee, it is actually legal to hunt a deer with a 22 caliber bullet, as long as it's center fire. And so I actually hunt a lot of deer with just my standard AR, but instead of a 55 grain, I step it up to like a 73, 75 or 80 grain. But
that's kind of you to not just like maim the fuck out of all the
deer. No, it puts them down, dude. Like I'm telling you.
But the 55 wouldn't.
I mean, I have, but you got to use like really special kind of stuff. But
special kind of stuff.
Those frag rounds. Well, you got to have like,
you got to breach. You got to use the 12 to breach first.
So,
Jim Bob, what's up, Jim Bob? How the hell are you?
Doing good. Just sitting in Best Western.
Because that looks like a prison shirt.
I was going to say, is that a refrigerator box?
No. It feels like prison. It's a Best Western.
Can you guys hear me?
We can.
God
Ben.
damn it, Ben.
That's
okay.
well,
Listen.
that's
No, listen.
What? It's not
I've been
Ford?
sitting in the back waiting several times. The issue was I went off of Discord and onto a web browser.
I got you.
Yeah. So you were like gaslighting the fuck out of me. I was like, I know I'm back here waiting.
I'm surprised it wasn't more. Normally, I'm really good at gaslighting people all the way out.
All right.
Of course, I was going to come on and talk about voting rights, and then fucking Jim Bob comes on.
I'm trying to listen.
We can talk about that. I mean, I had a different angle to that whole thing, but you can go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
So, my strongest argument, I think, when I talked to Grid about this was, I feel like the sex distinction that you're making when you're talking about monopoly of force seems arbitrary, because you can split the population up into something other than sex, and there can be a monopoly of force as well, like population size. If you have 90% of a population grouped together for some other reason, they would have the monopoly of force, and it's not necessarily based off sex.
Can we back up a little bit and just, what is the problem that you've identified that needs to be remedied by changing women's voting rights? Or what is the desired outcome?
Well, the irony is, my preference is not in alignment with my argument, because I would prefer them not to be able to vote. But what happens is when I hear these arguments for like repealing the 19th, when I'm hearing it, I'm thinking, well, what about this, or what about this? And so I feel like I'm coming up with counter arguments that I have issue with. So it goes against my preference. So I actually want my mind changed. So
my preferences.
I mean, go ahead.
I don't think the percent follows either, because even the percent you're referring to, it has to be 90% men or some percent men of that 90%. So in other words, if you took 90% of the population and made them women and 10% men, it's still possible for the 10% of men to take over the 90% women.
What if
we
what
did
I'm
like
saying
this?
is like the 90% that you're referring to, of that 90%, you would still need the dominant percent of that percent to be men, or at least you're going to be appealing to the men in that 90% to really get the shit done, insofar as force is concerned.
So, Ben, my attempt to change your mind would stem from the fact that sex is not causal. That the power struggle or rift there that we're describing is entirely arbitrary and invented out of thin air. I think it's a division tactic. personally.
Wait, what? What's made up?
The sex, the war between men and women.
Well, I agree with that. There is no war because women can't fight men, so there's not actually a war.
Well, there's no war because men and women are ideally teammates, and if we're infighting between men and women, well, then we're definitely not focusing on anything else.
Well, I would say the men are the coach. If you want to say the men are coach players, fine, but it doesn't stop them from also being the coach or like the team leader. So you can say they're both teammates, but I'm going to push back and say they're not just teammates. And insofar as arguments for the voting, I lay it out like this. Would you guys agree that voting, the act of voting, is the agreement to not rebel?
I actually would agree with that.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Part of the reason why I don't vote.
So if voting, the act of voting is like a transaction saying the collective who's voting, we agree to not rebel by voting. And we're going to outsource the monopoly of force by voting, because voting implies legislation, and legislation implies policy, and policy implies force. So if the collective of men vote, and by voting they say we will not rebel, my question is, what are the women saying they're not going to do? Gossip?
I mean, I don't know, because all these are all societal covert contracts, right? This is not actually any sort of thing that's been hammered out. This is just sort of interpreting into the tea leaves of the situation.
I know, but but just stick with the premise here. If men collectively vote, are saying with their vote, it's a communication. We won't rebel. We're going to vote instead. We're gonna outsource the force for legislation and policy to a collective of men called the government. If men collectively say we won't rebel, here's my vote, I'm asking, what are the women offering in exchange for not voting? What are they saying they're not going to do? Because it can't be rebel, right?
Well,
Is it complain maybe?
I don't think that, like, I'm not conceding anything by agreeing not to fly by flapping my arms, right? Because I can't do that. So I don't know that there's actually an exchange happening there.
There isn't. Yeah, that's the point. Is they have no leverage. I'm saying in that. That's what I'm saying is there's no leverage there for them to say, if I don't have a vote, here's what I'm going to do. Right? They don't have anything to leverage. Right?
Don't you think that women have a better chance of overthrowing men than the average voter does of overthrowing the institution?
What? No. What do you mean?
Ben, you had a lot to say on the other night.
On what?
Ben had a lot to say on the force issue, because he was basically saying that if you had if enough women banded together, they could then the force doctrine was moot.
Yeah, let me make that point. So it was a little bit different, and going back to what Jim Bob was saying in response to what I said, he still split it up based off of sex, because he still said there still has to be an appeal to men. You're still focusing on the men. But my point is, let's say you had 90% of men grouped together and 10% of men grouped together by some other arbitrary distinction. You would still have a monopoly of force. So it's still like, I'm not understanding why you keep splitting it up based off sex. I know we're talking about men and women.
Oh, because Ben, what's the other variable in the end other than just what what it is force? That's the
right.
If force is the ultimate arbiter, and you're saying, well, there's some other variable that's not that. What is that variable?
No. I'm saying there's another distinction. The force monopoly is still there. It's just not biological or psychological. It's based off of sheer number.
No, it's not though.
It's biological for sure.
Well, no. No,
90%. If you have 90% women in the country and you have 10% men who figure out how to use the guns and the drones and carry the equipment and shoot and use their will, it's still going to be biological.
Sure, but I'm talking about. Just say men. Let's just say men, for example. If you group 90% of men together and another 10% together, it's not biological to say the 90% has a monopoly of force, because it's not based off biology. It's based off
you're saying man versus man?
I'm not saying that, but just to make the distinction clear, I'm saying that the monopoly of force is such because of the sheer number and not a biological distinction between men and women.
It might be in that case if you're going to say man versus man, and then that's the equalizer. They're all men, and then it might be the case that the majority wins. But there are instances where the minority does in fact win.
Sure. So let's say that let's say it's 99% and 1%, so 99% of people together. So that includes men and women. Let's say that there's a ton of men on both sides, but there's also women on both sides. But you can say it's negligible. That's fine. But the thing is that again, if you have a big enough population difference, then that's the monopoly of force, or it can be. So you can include women on both sides, but that's sort of not the point.
Yeah, but isn't it the case right now that the amount of people that make up the force, the body of force in in America, what are we at? Are we at 400 million people yet, or what? Isn't it still the case that the body
after
of
ice
force
hit.
is tiny?
Say that again, Jimbo.
Isn't the body of force tiny comparison to the population right now?
And I think it's I still think it's an appropriate tool for the situation at hand.
Just real quick, I looked it up just to get a better representation of what I'm trying to say hypothetically. So Ireland, I believe, is almost 90% white. And I don't want to be TOS with the race thing, so stop me if I'm saying something I shouldn't. But if you just group based off of race in Ireland, and let's say Ireland adopts all of our social norms, our government, all these things. If we had the same demographic as Ireland, and we grouped the 90% together, that includes men and women. And that's the example that I'm kind of going for.
Well, if they adopt our social norms, then all of the men are all of the women are actually men.
But you get my point, right? Like the thing is I tried to think of, okay, well, men have the monopoly of force. That's fair. I completely agree. But if there's another way I can bisect a population that gives a different group of people that includes men the monopoly of force, and it seems equally justified, then it seems like the distinction you're making is arbitrary.
I don't think so. I still think it goes back to however you split it up with the numbers. You're still going to be looking at whoever has the will and the brute force and the menace to be able to win the fight. And it's never going to be teetering on women. It's always going to be men who make the difference, even if it's the number of the men. So you're saying, well, it could be the number, but I'm saying I'm adding something, Ben, and I'm saying, yeah, maybe, but I'm just adding the number of men. So it could be the number, but the number of men.
Right. So you're saying that it's still predicated on men, no matter how you split up the population.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And while y'all are figuring that out, I'm going to recruit women because that's a more appropriate strategy for operating within a society. Like whether you're men or women or whatever, just we're talking about within a society. So the introduction of that schism there necessarily weakens everybody who participates in it, and it's not really causal, as far as I can tell, to any issues.
What do you mean recruit, though? What recruit? How do you mean that recruit?
I mean, I'm talking to all your women. I'm saying, hey, look, these dudes are plotting some shit against you right now on Grid One's panel, but I dig you. I dig chicks. Come over the powder, Dusty. I got you.
What are they going to give you in return? You're gonna start a cult and have
bastard children,
multiple wives, or what?
Bastard children.
Sounds like a Mormon plan.
You know what? I've got two sisters, I've got three sisters.
Flo has Mormon vibes for sure.
I have three sisters, and all three of them are Mormon. But
Are they sister wives?
Oh wait, this makes sense then. Flo is actually wearing Mormon temple undergarments. That's where he got that shirt from.
The magic, the magic underwear.
I did have my little sister hook me up with that the Mormons have the prepper shit locked down.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've got so much Mormon prep food in my basement. It's awesome. But nah, I smoke cigarettes. They're not having me.
Now I do think I'm going to play devil's advocate here, because the argument that voting for men is the forfeit of rebellion, which is force, but women could. Well, no, they still couldn't. I was going to say women could use their only leverage they have, which is their ability to have children, their chastity, their vagina. But the problem is men still have the monopoly of force on that if they want.
Right. Right. Again, and the exact argument that was that Ben and I kind of got into the other night was that regardless, if men just suddenly decided tomorrow to no longer care about the rule of law with regard to women and women's rights, women could do nothing about it.
That's right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
They-
I'm fine with that.
Mm.
It just the issue that I had was the arbitrariness of the distinction between the sex versus something else. But the other argument that I had that was weak, that I made against Grid was comparing the draft to abortion. So, but really, what I should have said. So, the logic was women should not be able to vote because they're not the ones that get drafted. And it's sort of an injustice where, you could have women voting in somebody who would enact the draft and send men off to war. I think that's fair, but my counter argument was I believe that you can make the same argument the other way if you generalize it enough. So, for example, let's say you have a bunch of men voting for a congressperson, whatever, that they can then enact or legislate or write laws that would impact women more than men in terms of some abortion law. So it's sort of a primary versus secondary victim. So for men, they're the primary victim. Women could be secondary. In terms of some abortion law, while men can be victims and are definitely victims of a particular abortion law, however you want to construct it, you could still say women are the primary victim of whatever that legislation would be. So if you generalize it enough, it seems to be a two-way street.
I guess that wouldn't be collective though. That the voting thing, the draft thing isn't that ends up doing this. Like, for instance, it makes it so not all men could vote, which I don't actually hold the position all men should vote just because I say women shouldn't vote. I don't hold that all men should vote. But if you said, well, men can be drafted, therefore men should vote, but not all men can be drafted, so those men shouldn't vote. But then it's like also you're basically begging the government or the people to demand that women get drafted, which is something you wouldn't. I mean, most people making this argument wouldn't want that. But it's kind of asking for it in a weird way. It's like saying, like, we want it fair and equal, but we're actually arguing that things aren't fair and equal, actually.
Right.
So,
that was my issue is the way that you guys approached it the other night.
Right. So here's my counter to that. I do agree, but here's my problem. So at least when I hear Andrew mention this, maybe Jim Bob, you frame it the same way. Here's how it goes. It says women shouldn't be allowed to vote for these draft reasons. And then when they get pressed on it, it becomes, well, some men shouldn't vote either. And I don't understand why there's a double distinction there, because what it should be in your example is all able-bodied people that can serve should be allowed to vote. Now, if you make the claim, well, all of those people will be men and not women, that's fine. But it seems to be a more clear distinction on.
I would agree. That's why I don't think I think that serving could be one ticket on the sort of if men have a baseball card and there's attributes on the back for voting, for being able to vote, I would only add that as one potential bullet point. Like if you try to go back to like owning property, having lived in the United States for this many years or whatever it is, I actually don't know how to fully flesh out those bullet points, but it seems like serving would only be one aspect of that. It wouldn't be the deciding factor.
Well, it would have to be if the argument is voting rights are predicated on drafting.
I just would make that argument. Yeah.
I think the distinction comes in that men can be ordered to die by force against their will, is where it actually comes into play. Correct. It's not that men want to go into the army. They don't want. It's not that they would want to go into the military. It's that a group of people, including women, could vote to send men to war and institute the draft, which would have people forced against their will to go die in a war that they don't necessarily agree with. And therefore, that's why people who vote should have some skin in the game.
That's a good argument for feminism. That was my point, though. Like, you come full circle and support feminism now.
No, I
yeah,
don't.
yeah. You're basically saying now women go fight, but we don't want
No,
that.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm
didn't.
saying
You didn't
that
say that, but it's inferred.
It's
right?
not inferred. How's it
I
inferred?
motherfucking inferred it.
Well, you can infer it, but you're wrong.
Hold on. If you said that because men have skin in the game, you should only be able to, they should vote, and you should only be able to vote if you have skin in the game. What we interpreted as skin in the game, Grid, was that women have to, I mean, skin in the game in this case would be go to war, right? Go be drafted.
No, be ordered against their will.
And I don't view that imbalance in duties or responsibilities as a problem. I think it's, if anything, an honor. And I would definitely, I don't want my daughter getting drafted, right? Like, that's craziness. So
I don't want to fight next to a woman.
Agree.
Here's the thing, which is kind of what I think you might be saying, Flow State, which is why is it based off of fairness? Why are we using that standard? Why can't there be an inequality? Why is it like, well, since men have to go to war,
right?
Since they're responsible.
That's why I asked what the original issue is that we're trying to fix, because I don't see an issue with an imbalance.
Or even if there is or isn't an issue, why is that our justification? Is the fairness aspect?
Well, I think that it's really apparent. I think it's immediately apparent. I think you're being obtuse and not addressing it. The immediate appearance is that if women don't have to go to war, they are perfectly willing to throw men's lives away to do so. And therefore, if you want to infer anything, you should infer that women should not be able to do that.
Okay, so
I would infer that nobody should be allowed to do that. I don't prefer a world in which women can also throw women's lives away. If women can throw away anyone's lives, I'd prefer it just be men and not men and women.
Grid, I've thought about that argument because I think you brought it up before. And my counter, and it's not a good counter, but it makes me wonder, let's say that since women can't be drafted for some odd reason, since they don't have skin in the game, let's just say because they don't have skin in the game, they're more objective and can make better judgments. Let's just say hypothetically, if that's the case, then would you say it would be right for this current situation about drafting and voting? So if they don't have skin in the game, and it somehow makes
again, I'm not saying that being able to be drafted is the ultimate solution. My argument is that is how all men got the right to vote. So if you agree that all men have the right to vote, which I don't, but if you do, then women should not have the right to vote because women cannot be drafted. They cannot be forced to go to war against their will.
I mean, they could be forced to go to war. It's just a legal thing at this point. But what if we swap it and the fairest thing to do is that all nations only send women to fight? So it's just female wars.
Have you seen that? That would
I
be
like
brutal.
the opposite side of that argument. I mean, I mean that's a great one too. But I like
so funny.
I like to put out this proposal.
It'd be like the WNBA, watching the we could televise it.
Men fight to establish dominance. Women fight to undermine the other one's will to live.
It would just be like nagging. It would be like, your hair is so ugly.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Like the morning news would just be a roundup of countries X and Y are in a 1,000-day standoff, being aggressive as fuck towards each other.
Yeah, we would still be the global superpower.
Career would take off.
Then, but then you've got to allow maternity leave in the middle of your war.
That's so funny.
Not if you keep the men away, right?
Men will find a way.
Well, here's the ultimate sort of argument, which is that since it's currently codified in law that men in general are to be drafted, then the opposite sort of end of that would be men in general get to vote. I think that's fair, but you can argue how it's codified and it should be different. That's a different discussion.
Yeah, I just don't know that that's still the supporting. That I don't think that original reason is still the support for men get to vote, because everybody gets to vote. So I think that since then we've moved off that. Grid, did you have a proposal? Oh, and Naomi, thank you for supporting the chat war and for joining Team Flow, the only team that loves women.
Oh, that's
and the children we won't help support.
That's
Grid, where is Cam? I haven't seen him in a couple days, and he's normally
Cam the King.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking hilarious.
I have no idea. He comes and goes, man. He's just, Are you looking
JB?
for him?
You all protected up for Sunday. You got everything you need to not catch anything.
Yeah,
I have a
where are
full
you?
body condom. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
you're going on whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got everything I needed, I think.
You got your shoulder pads?
Well, I thought about that, but I'll use that to soften them all up.
Have
know
you
what I mean?
seen the lineup of women that you're going to be dealing with?
No.
Okay.
I
Are
feel
you
like
gonna-
they're mostly replaceable. Like they're all like interchangeable.
They
There's
are,
gotta
but
be
you should bring your guitar with you because chicks dig guitars.
I know it's another way to just soften them up, but no.
Wow. At least I can hear you guys now. The rain on the roof was actually drowning out the volume for a minute.
Jim Bob's in that stage where they're keeping the male guests in hotel confinement for 24 hours with no food, water, natural sunlight so that they're good and ornery for showtime.
That's
Everybody in Vegas is on coke anyways, so it's no problem.
I feel like the show's in Santa Barbara.
Well, even more coke.
I think it's interesting. Apparently, the studio lighting on whatever makes everyone look like 10 times better. So,
Yeah, that's good. Good for me.
Yeah, but you're going to be in the room with those girls.
I know. I'm gonna see everything up close.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Just
Send me
don't get any
pictures.
on you. That's what I'm saying. Just don't get any on
You're
you.
gonna get a rage quit. Just how you are, you're gonna get one. I'm
Maybe.
confident.
I mean, you offered to fight that chick, so if you pull
That was
those,
hilarious, by the way.
Dude, bring the mouth guard. That mouth guard idea was hilarious.
Oh,
Say,
the mouth-
fight me
yeah,
and put a mouth guard in.
Someone said to bring little boxing gloves and just put them on the table. Don't even acknowledge it.
look, if
But
you
they're
split
little.
the panel, if you go after and really try to charm the tits off of like one of them, and then just go aggressively at another one, so that the women are split. That's what I would do if I.
Or
were
I could say like, you know what? 4 of you are clearly supermodel, and I never supermodel level,
never
but never
define
tell them
which
who.
ones.
Never tell them who. They'll just be wondering the whole time.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm gonna
try to be nice. I'm gonna try to be nice at first. I'm gonna be like a boiling pot of water, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, a little
You
give
better
and
take
take.
away someone's license besides mine and Anson's.
Yeah.
Tara prefers drummers. I was a drummer when I did stuff.
Yeah,
I also taught myself 3 songs on guitar because I figured if I can't get laid in 3 songs, it's not going to happen.
yeah, Jim Bob, if there is a rage quit, please tell them they can't leave because their license is revoked.
Funny. That's funny. If anybody's wondering why I haven't let Imperious up, it's because, there are 2 reasons. First, getting really close to quitting time, and I just don't really care to deal with that nuclear weapon at this point. And second, there's too much chance of him like raging out and spurging out, so he's just going to have to calm down on this one.
Says just to inform the chat, Grid is keeping me back, protecting Jim Bob from getting curb stomped.
Yeah.
See, this is why I think this is a proof that it's not just about women not voting. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
you
thank
sure
you-
that's not a
Well,
woman?
that was a backhanded around the world, just smack in the face.
Thank you, Tara, for the Cash App. She says 3 songs is good enough. See what I mean?
Or it's not good enough, right? And that's your answer.
If you're still playing a 4th fucking song, then you need to go back to square one. You're not at
So-
the guitar.
So what's your? Is it Wonderwall, and Wonderwall? Is that what you did?
I think I did have Wonderwall as one of them. So Adam's Song by Blink-182 is one of them. Come As You Are by Nirvana was one of them.
And then it was Satellite.
No,
Can
it
you
wasn't Wonderwall.
Can you imagine this guy playing Satellite, Dave Matthews Band? That would be the worst. That'd be like that would be straight AIDS.
I actually told a girl one time that Jack Johnson was in town
God.
the next night, and I told her that I was opening for Jack Johnson. I couldn't play anything for her because all my guitars were at the Blue Note, which was the concert hall, but I was opening the next night for Jack Johnson.
Wow.
She knew that I was lying, but it worked anyways.
Terrible.
So we have a request, Jim Bob. If there's a fat chick on whatever, can you address her as some random pastry with every question?
No, but I might call her a what is it? A 608.
double the fun. So, Jim, did you hear what I did with Alex Stein at DebateCon? He was debating Jasmine Jafar, and I told him, I'm like, I'll give you $1 for every time it's something, and he's like. I said, I'll give you $1 every time you call her a degenerate. And he's like, how about $5 every time I call her a whore? I'm like,
Now, Jim Bob, I got to take a little bit of exception to you calling some of these obese ladies who have been on the show a 608 when they are easily the size of a 747.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. 608. That's pretty.
Hey, Jim Bob, can you when you're on the show, can you just slightly move mics around just a little bit, just to kind of see what happens to Brian?
It would be that would be funny. He seems very uptight. I would love to see somebody just try to.
Yeah, I think he's very what do you call it when everything needs to be
perfectionist.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect placement of everything.
I'm not.
That must be a stressful way to go through life. Of course, his podcast is 6.5 million, and mine's 104,000. So, I'm 1.4 thousand. My bad. But at least it's monetized on this one. Shout out Powder Dusty.
Can I get the word gunt? That's actually funny.
There was
gunt.
I'm not going to say they get. I'm
not a pussy, but you have a rap, Imperious. I'm sorry, you do. You just
and you've got a bond amount me, lawyer.
I just don't understand his problem. How does he have a problem with so many people he doesn't even know? It's the weirdest investment ever.
I don't know.
He's got something to prove.
I will give you. I will tell you.
Have a beer, dude.
I will tell you that normally when he comes on my stream, he's fairly respectful and chills out. I'm just, he's just been.
He's celibate.
Dude, what did I do?
Quite a bit.
I don't understand what I did to this guy. I don't even know you, bro. What did I do?
You're part of the Andrew.
What? So that's so childish, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say it made sense. I just said this is what it is.
So is he actually a lawyer, or does he just say that?
I think he's a lawyer. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if he is or not, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? He seems to have some knowledge in that area, but he's also not above, which is a good lawyer trait. He's not above just completely making up facts if he thinks that he can get away with it.
I feel like he's like Jasmine Jafar. She's a lawyer, right? Kind of, not really.
Yeah,
she
is he a lawyer in the way Star Jones was a lawyer in the old days of The View?
So I didn't think that Jafar had actually passed the Florida bar, but I think maybe she has now.
I think you're confusing her with Megan, or not Megan. Shit.
Megan Kelly.
No, what's that chick's name? Lauren De Laguna.
Oh, yeah.
I know she graduated law school because she was a paralegal while she was
I think it is Lauren.
And I've probably got more courtroom time than all of them combined.
Being a defendant doesn't count, Flo.
The fuck if it doesn't? That's when it counts the most.
Were you representing yourself? Maybe we can give you some leeway there.
I have once, not as a defendant, but as a respondent.
Okay, you may be more qualified than her. Then that's a great possibility.
Yeah.
Any of you guys pretending to care about college basketball? I'm doing that right now.
I don't care about any sports.
Is it the Final Four?
I actually don't know.
You don't even know if it's the Final Four? I haven't kept up.
It is. Yeah, it says it right there. There it is. Yep.
Is Duke in it?
Yeah, of course it's the Final Four. Look, it says it. Duke, yeah, they're playing Houston right now.
Okay.
Now, Jim Bob, I'm not saying you may encounter an extremely large woman on the show tomorrow.
I hope so.
But you may feel, I will say, you may feel an urge to travel over to Hollywood and kidnap Harrison Ford for that woman.
Nice.
You should bring in Skittles or something, just to kind of like roll across the table at the fatty. Play Hungry Hungry Hippos. I don't know. You probably shouldn't do anything that we think sounds like a good idea.
Probably not. Yeah, this is not the good.
I'm going to say that
this is the
taking
best
advice from. Okay, I'm just going to say that taking advice from Flow State could land you into jail. It certainly worked that way for him.
But it could also get you back out of that jail.
And into the Walmart clothing section, and then probably back into jail again.
I mean, if there were 4 really fat women on that panel, I would be tempted to toss marbles on the table and just see what the hell happens.
Wally is the chubby chaser,
you, wouldn't it? But now, Grid, look, at this point in time, we're now sitting in the same spot. So
that's true. Jim Bob
says I delete Jim Bob's business. What are you even talking about?
I don't know.
He's so angry that he's impotent right now.
What are you saying?
Jim Bob, I heard that your buddy Wes Watson is back in prison.
Motherfucker! Yeah, that's where he belongs. He loves it there. Are you kidding me?
Apparently, he can't stop talking about it.
He loves
it.
In prison. He misses it.
God, I hated that dude. The way that he makes prison sound like it's some like elite training camp when really it's not at fucking all. It's just, bro.
You want to be somebody, you got to go to prison. Didn't you know that?
Poor guy. Yeah. Terrible.
What he doesn't tell you about is what it smells like when you walk back there.
Did you see his new tattoo? It says self-made, but people removed AI removed the S and it says elf made. It's like this going meme. It's hilarious.
That's pretty fucking funny. Yeah, apparently he assaulted somebody and enough for it to be a felony, and he went.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like a mentally challenged person?
Yeah, it was a mentally challenged bodybuilder or something.
He invited the dude to fight, and the guy showed up to his gym, and then he and 2 of his homeboys basically jumped him and used weapons. So.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's like prison.
Yeah, back to using that prison wallet to carry his papers in.
Andrew made a good song out of him, though. We at least have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why he gets into such legal trouble. He's such a model citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Imperius is his lawyer, probably.
He should have chose Flow State.
Flow State has a pretty good record in the state of Kansas with the legal system.
Actually, Flow State.
I forgot Kansas was a place.
A good record of acquittals or convictions.
Look, these plea deals were pretty favorable compared to what they could have been, and all the domestic shit, all of it has been actually won. Yeah, buddy. How many motherfuckers you know with 1 kid and 2 custody wins?
I mean, you're definitely on the short list.
Hi.
And the short bus.
Man, the more we I hope we get a big one on whatever just for Jim Bob. Just a porker, bro.
I'm waiting for Gorlock versus Jim Bob.
Gorlock? Oh, that's the one, right? The famous one?
Dude.
You all are acting like Jim Bob might not be a chubby chaser. Jim Bob, do you like the dick?
Wally's the chubby chaser. He's the one that keeps bringing up the size of these women.
Never.
I got all the jokes to make in reference to it.
Never once.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 20 minutes left in the show. Please get your grift in, everyone.
And
grift in.
Help me rub it in Grid One's fat face that I beat him. But yeah, Wally likes going to ICP shows and
you guys are doing a grift off right now?
So we know he likes
doing a grift off, yeah.
Oh, you guys doing a grift off?
It's really a bad
everyone
one.
Listening, to support me on whatever, you can start by sending a Bob chat at bobchats.com. I'm in on the griftathon right now.
Yeah.
So what will you do in return for your audience supporting you, though?
Nothing.
See, that's I don't know.
Honest.
So what I've already offered you got to call the fattest girl there, Gorlock, at least twice, and then when they correct you and say this is not Gorlock, you say, well, I couldn't tell the difference.
I'll make you laugh all night tomorrow. That's the promise. Yeah.
That's good. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna bring the humor, because smashing them on their heads is necessary, but I think we're gonna try to make some laugh. We gotta try to create some giggles in there. So I want to see the 608 wiggling.
Well, I personally can't wait to see your excellent exhibition of giggle foo.
Yeah.
What if he sets you up and like the whole panel is full of girls who talk like that?
I hope.
What if there's a reason Andrew didn't make this one? Like maybe
he brings in the whole panel from the school from the deaf,
or the only downs, all the only downs chicks.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
Andrew took one look at the playlist and was like, "Hey, I know who."
It's like, oh, I hear, hey, Brian, you're getting all the Down syndrome OnlyFans chicks. I got the right guy for you.
Yeah, you know, Ben, you did get a little bit of a win there because I got to give it to Flo. He did describe me quite accurately a minute ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go.
I mean, my son would not exist if I did not do some heavy lifting at one point.
Are you one of those guys that like pulls out that has like they keep their panties and shows it off and says, look at how big this one was the next morning? Okay.
Can't say I ever did that. No.
I feel like Wally would be the perfect wingman because
hog farmer on it, right?
There's that fat friend, and she's always pissed if you're like trying to piece away the hot friend, right? So
That's
you
right.
need a Wally to come help
You need
you
a
out.
Wally.
Shout out Kevin. He was my Wally back in the day.
Yeah,
he was great.
Walking around in that hog farmer T-shirt.
I text this guy at any time, and I could say I got a fat friend situation. He'd say, "Give me an hour, I'll be there with a case of natty," and every time he was awesome.
He said natty. Yeah, this is perfect. This is
Jim Bob, what are the chances we get a good Becky impression?
Well, I can't. I thought about that, but that's such an inside joke. I don't know how well it's going to go for the whatever podcast. If out of nowhere I just go,
well, that's what they're going to be doing.
Well, I can't imagine why they would need context for that.
I think if I kind of whisper it in my mic like really low, and people are like, "What is that?" I'm like, "No, it's stomach. I got an indigestion." Just kind of like loft it in there. I was thinking of crop dusting the whole room, see what happens. Has anyone ever done that? I've never seen that before.
Flow state is currently labeled as hate state. I'm not really sure why.
And I'm streaming to the Powder Dusty, so
hate state.
So he's you know.
This was supposed to be a shit talking stream, but I don't know if you've noticed this about Grid. Is he does not really very good at shit talking.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Grid says
before
I say anything.
Nice guy. I'm sorry, I don't know what it is.
Imperious has more to say. He says nobody cares about mean autism. Trying to be mean to someone that enjoys hurting PPLE. Jim, dude, stop! You sound like a bitch.
We are being mean to somebody
whining.
who enjoys hurting people. Because
How is
we
that a
do
grown
enjoy
man?
hurting people, Imperious. This is it right now.
How is that a grown man? He sounds like a guidance counselor.
It's not. But you know what? If he really wants to be heard, if he wants his voice to be heard, he'll pay me the bond to get unblocked from my chat.
Wow. Holy fuck. He just
sounds like a guidance counselor.
Guidance counselor.
I think he just sounds like he and Jack have the same effect. They're like bitches that need to be shown the boundaries, like like a little kid or somebody who's just desperately trying to find where the line is.
Yeah, Jack's a mega bitch.
Imperious simping for Downies. That's hilarious. Dude,
the little heads make the cock look big.
Hey, they're joyful.
Yeah, Grid, you need to do better with the trash talking. You start out with, now I mean nothing bad by this, I think these guys are great, but it's like you can't say that when you're trash talking, Just go right in, cause some drama.
Yeah.
Jim Bob, teach him to do the thing where you insult people's race.
Like a
YouTube
race,
loves that.
or what kind of race are we talking here?
I think that
your least favorite one, Grid. Whatever your least favorite one is.
Wait, wasn't Imperious like Andrew's biggest simp? Is that why he's so mad and salty? That he was.
I don't think
he
he was
like he loved him. He like loved him. And now it's
that makes sense to me. Actually,
there's no connection now. You know what I mean?
feel like there's a lot of scorned.
Yeah, it's like the
There's a
Notebook.
scorned woman.
I bet there's a support group out there.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's called Prison, probably.
What would it be called? Are We Not Men? Imperious. Who else is running around telling everybody who will listen that they destroyed Andrew on something?
Jack.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Jack. Yeah.
Wait, Jack Talcott?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say that
just
didn't make
another
sense.
Canadian.
Oh yeah, that didn't make any sense when you were talking about. I was like,
No.
Jack, that doesn't sound like Jack.
Yeah, I got confused for a second there myself. Then I remembered everybody else calls him Jack for JAC.
Yeah.
That's quite a support group dream team, though. Could you imagine walking into that meeting?
You know, what'd be great is that, yeah, all of those dudes sat down. Maybe get Talcott, Dillahunty, Jack, Imperious, and who's the last one? There was another one.
Talcott's harmless.
What are you trying to do?
Just start World War III.
Oh, please. In that room, Talcott's not going to do anything. He's the
Talcott would be the survivor.
Yeah, he's the most harmless person of that bunch.
You think that? Watch
Funny,
out.
though, right?
Bunches.
He's funny though.
Oh yeah, I agree there, definitely. And he's got some like people who hover around him that are
Millionaire Bachelor. If we can't have Talcott, Millionaire Bachelor is my next pick.
And
Millionaire Luchador.
Dude, I
hate to do it, but I gotta say, Based Oracle could maybe use some of that support group.
Dude, he did he quit the internet because I told him he
You know what? That was some of your best shit talking. You have shit talk Based Oracle harder than I've ever heard you shit talk anybody.
Yo, Cat's in the chat.
Cat in the chat. What's happening?
You done? Hey, Cat, you done eating yet or what? You've been eating for like 3 hours straight.
She's got to keep her metabolism up. Yeah, Millionaire Bachelor was good. But do you think Based Oracle quit the internet because I told him he couldn't debate? And I told him that if he had a single fucking friend, a real friend would tell him that he couldn't fucking debate.
If you're actually the cause for him leaving the internet, I don't know. The rest of you fuckers need to step up your game, because if Grid can get somebody to rage quit.
I think the real friends are the people who tell you, "Hey, yo, stop embarrassing yourself. What the fuck do you think you're doing?"
Saying. He obviously didn't have any fucking friends in the world because nobody told him, "Hey, you sound stupid. Stop it. Do better."
I mean, I did, but I was the opposition.
It was funny because you literally won your last debate with him 4 fucking times, and he was too stupid to realize it. And you would like win, and then he would kind of relaunch, and you would just like take another tack and win. It was both maddening and hilarious at the same time. It was fucking great. It's a great video. If you haven't seen that, go watch that video.
Does Flo, have you ever debated Anson one-on-one?
I don't know if a proper one-on-one debate, but we've gone at it, and it normally ends up with him being calm and me yelling and berating him.
Oh, okay.
He's really good at saying like just the most provocative thing and then like completely maintaining composure.
That's why I was wondering if he's just like a provocateur, like a troll, like a really good one where he doesn't actually believe. I still haven't figured him out because he says really dumb shit. And
I
I'm
think
like,
he actually believes. I don't think he is at all. I just think that he's not as reactive as.
Yeah, I don't think he's a troll. He goes back and forth between So it's been a long year watching him go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's fine though. It's fine. Raging Tomato said this is such a boys club vibe. Well, you know what? It just kind of worked out that way. We didn't have any women's want to get up on the stage tonight. I asked, they didn't make it. So this is what you get.
Tomato.
Exactly.
Look, I'm the only one up here who likes any of you bitches anyways, so the rest of them want you to have to go to war.
Hey, I was advocating for him. Come on.
That's not true. I didn't say that.
I never said I want him near a battlefield.
That's not how the narrative is going to be retold, though.
I understand that you're going to twist it up as in like pretzels, but that's okay.
I'm pretty sure the narrative there, Flo, was I just held Mug the whole time and let Mug do my heavy lifting.
That's a different mug. That is a different mug than you started with.
It was it's a better mug than I started with.
I'm heading out, y'all.
All right.
Good talking to you.
Yep.
Hey, Jim Mug.
Good luck
See you
tomorrow.
guys tomorrow, if you want to tune in.
We'll watch you.
We
buddy.
will for
I'll
sure.
probably I'm gonna get my wife to try to just stream it from my channel. Just there's gonna be no one talking through it at all. It's just gonna be straight stream.
She's not much of an entertainer, or
She's the introvert in the relationship.
No,
I got
Put
this.
it up.
No, I'm looking forward to it because
You could like grift for you, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
it's gonna be funny as shit for sure.
Yeah.
see, I'm looking forward to it because I got this game I like to play every time whatever is on, where I like to time myself and see how long it takes me for some woman's remark to make me want to just rear my head back and bash my keyboard.
okay.
My favorite part of watching whatever is one of these times, like I keep thinking it's going to be the episode where Brian actually has a stroke and he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, there's always a
I'm
moment.
waiting for the one where he rage quits. He's
There's a good show.
He's gotten really close. He's gotten really close.
He always picks out a target too. You could tell who he hates like in the first 10 minutes. He'll just be like, "Why would you fucking do that?"
You could gaslight the shit out of him. Like, just keep asking him why does your studio always smell like this? What is that weird smell?
All right, I'm out of here. I gotta
See
go.
you
later.
Bob.
See you
Have
later.
fun, man. Have fun. Yeah, we've only got a couple of minutes left, guys. Pimp your channels and get the fuck out of here.
My channel is the Powder Dusty. I'm streaming live right now to the Powder Dusty.
I'm going to be rating any.
You're going to be rating me, and I'll be dropping the link and opening my panel up. As you know, when you end. So,
All right, cool.
I do have all the chicks over on my mine because y'all went to war with them.
Based.
He did that. He
Based
just-
And actually,
Flame.
the poll results. Hold on. Let me, I pushed it in. Now I gotta wait for it to pop back up. There we go. 66% of responses to my poll said, "Yes, I'm a woman and I'm in my team."
Oh, they say they're
said
women.
I'm a straight man joining for the chicks. Right. Well, 27% said I'm a straight man joining my team for the chicks, which is valid. 3% said no, I'm a woman, fuck you, and 3% said I'm a man and hate women. So,
Did you vote for that?
anyways,
Was that your vote?
you don't know that you can't vote on your own polls.
I've never tried. I don't know that I've
you
ever run a
can't.
poll.
Yeah, we need some grid polls. No,
I found that out too when I did a poll last
You need some
week.
grid
That's
poll?
what you vote your own.
chill, bro.
That is very wrong, bro.
Man.
Chill.
No chill. I can't wait to clip the fuck out of that.
I know. He's in that.
Put
All right.
Thorpe at the end of my name. Just may as well when you clip it.
I feel like I've already like kind of sent Ben Thorpe astray already today because I used his name on another channel because the conversation was getting so wild. Like I had to go incognito, and so I changed my name to Ben Thorpe and calm down.
That's funny.
You know, Ben, is it because people think you sound like Imperious that everyone says you're Imperious?
Bro, I don't. Well, okay. I think it's a few reasons. One, the one thing that I've seen of him, he was pretty funny. So I've been advocating for him, like, oh, get him up. He's pretty funny. So people are probably like, that's his alt account. I think that's why. I don't know if I sound like him, but
Yeah, you don't.
Okay.
Because at least if you did, I would say you should change your name to Ben Imperious.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, can do that.
How's that funny?
We got
Or
one
what?
I don't know.
Yes, coming through, guys.
Oxcaxo donated 10.
That wasn't funny at all. That didn't even make any sense.
Play on words, like
It wasn't a play on shit. That was an airball.
You know what? It's almost closing time. I phoned that one in. Ask me.
It doesn't matter why. Just you don't even need to explain it. Just accept the L and walk away from
Hey,
it.
Grid, real quick while I have you here.
Yeah.
How many of the women that say they're women in chat are actually women? Because Naomi, Kissy Cat,
Naomi and Kissy Cat are both women for sure.
I
what do
don't
you
know
mean for
Kissy Cat
sure?
is Naomi.
He is a woman. Arthur Dye is a woman for sure, 100%.
Okay. Because I like to give him a hard
suspicious
time.
about that fox.
Arthur Daya and Kat Katibi have both been on the show live. Kissy Cat has she's into whatever and other servers all the time. Beth Mayhew was on, and Paige has been on. I think Paige was on camera as well. So, like,
I'm just always curious.
How thorough of a check are you looking for?
That's what I was saying. When he said for sure, I was like, well, what do you mean by for sure exactly?
Yeah. All right. Pimp your channel, Wally.
Wicked Wally World. Gonna be on Monday and Tuesday this week. Flo.
Sent another.
Flo, if you
Fox
want to
Jackson
swing by
donated
Tuesday
$10
afternoons,
super
you're
chat.
more than welcome
Link
for the
Hills.
panel part of it. Everybody
Appreciate it.
else. I know my friend loves to chill with you, so
Yeah. All right.
If I was Are We Not
And if
Men,
you're
I
not
would be
familiar
asking
with
for a
Wally's co-host, you should be
co-
familiar with Wally's co-host.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't at all.
I mean, if you're a gay man, then don't worry about it.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much more over the plate you could have lobbed that softball.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. It's weird that your balls are soft. That's weird. And
Not in the morning.
all right, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen,
leaving.
it's time to go. I am going to send you over to Flo's. You guys are going to have a great time. And I will welcome Helping Hound. I'm glad to see you here.
Pleasure as always, everybody.
It's been a great night. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, so get the fuck out. Wear glasses if you need them.